Welcome to Let's Talk Jets Radio.
Mr. Primetime.
Welcome back. You know, only on Let's Talk Jets Radio could we stream arguably the greatest football game in the history of the NFL, and somehow the biggest topic is a shotgun that was on our stream. It's incredible.
It's this way we do things here, man.
Only here. It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it gets more views than important videos. I'll never understand it.
Your analysis on Steve and my cooking videos are doing better than like our Jets analysis videos. I don't know if that's good or bad.
That's just don't do more analysis videos. That's what I'm thinking. So, what's up, everybody? What's up, Chris? Gentlemen?
What's up,
going
guys?
on? John? Everybody? Jose? What's up, Justin in New Hampshire? What's up? What's up, everybody?
Jets in New Hampshire.
What's up, Johnny? Party people? Everybody in a happy mood tonight? Yeah, Tyrone's killing it with content. He did a 3-minute video. 2 months, 1 3-minute video.
He was here last week, though. That was his first show in, like a month? But
yeah, he put his hour, and then he started tuning out when all the shit started going on. So, let's see what we got here. Yeah, that's the biggest news of today. Sean Payton retiring. No surprise. I mean, I think he's just, it's like a sabbatical, like a temporary 1 or 2 years away from the game. He'll get rejuvenated and then go to Cowboys or somebody else. But
yep.
And he was he pretty much said that in his press conference too.
Yeah, I don't think McCarthy's going to last much longer than another year or two anyway. So I think it's going to be a perfect fit for him.
Yeah, I definitely think so too. It's just a matter of time. So what's going on? If you guys, I got to share the link. I didn't do that yet. I'm already blowing things already. So we got free agencies around the corner. You got championship weekend coming up. We'll probably do the Bengals Chiefs game, I guess.
Yeah, that sounds good. That's the early game, right?
I think so, right?
Yeah, I'm
I
pretty
haven't
sure.
looked. What's up, Jomo? I haven't talked to you in a while. And now it's like we're supposed to get. You supposed to get snow up there? We're supposed to get like 6 inches of snow up here or down here.
Yeah, as of right now, it's showing like 3 to 5, but I thought it was going up today. That's what I heard from some people.
And it's like I don't mind if you get snow like on a Tuesday or Wednesday, but all right, steal from work, all this shit.
Exactly.
Friday night and Saturday. It's like, come on, man.
Worst possible time.
Yeah, it's terrible.
I always look forward to those snow days.
What's up, Eric? No, Coach, I'm not insulting you. I'm just saying the Sean Payton thing, he'll be the Cowboy coach within a year or two. That's just a matter of time. He's always wanted that job. He's taking a little break. He's burnt out. He knows his team's in a complete mess. Like whatever, $60 million.
I think it's $70 million over the cap or whatever.
$70 million ridiculous. And no quarterback. He sees the writing on the wall. He salvaged what he could this year. He's getting out of Dodge. So I have no problem with that. And that's the one thing too. Is like you did a video on. I was gonna do the same thing. Was just after watching this weekend, all the high flying, all these wild games and all these offenses. It's like, how far away are the Jets?
And that's the question. That's the problem. I keep going back and forth. Like on one hand, like I said in my video, you watch the Bengals. Nobody would have predicted them 2 years ago going to the championship game. Even last year, they were picking right where we were picking. Nobody would have predicted them to make that kind of leap. But you get your number one wideout, and your quarterback takes a sizable jump into year 2, and suddenly you're pulling off upsets in the playoffs. So just like that, it could change. But then at the same time, you're watching all these young quarterbacks. You're watching them get that experience. You're watching them have that continuity. You're watching the Bills just, stack on year after year, getting Allen all that experience. And you're like, all these teams are making all this progress. We got a lot of catching up to do. And we've got a lot of questions, a lot of holes, and we don't really know what any of the answers are right now.
Yeah, you look at it. What you saw this weekend with Burrow and Mahomes and Josh Allen, like these quarterbacks are elite, man. They are just legitimate playmakers with their arms, with their legs. Not so much with Burrow with his legs, but he did it when he had to. Yep. And it's like that's why, in my opinion, you take a Zach Wilson over a Mac Jones because the risk reward. Like I'm willing to take the risk because Zach Wilson has reward to be that upper level guy where you see the arm talent, you see his mobility, he has that it factor. That can you get it out of him? I have no idea. But I think the ceiling is so much higher for Zach Wilson. Like, you know what? I'm going to go for it. Like, that's the guy. If we hit on it, we have our star. If we don't, whatever. But I don't think that's the difference between Mac Jones and him, dude. I honestly think that's the difference.
I think with Mac Jones, you could say maybe the floor is higher. But
Yeah.
with Zach Wilson, I think the ceiling is much higher. And ultimately, if you want to get past the Mahomes and the Allens and the Burrows and the Herberts, I mean, you're probably going to need that elite quarterback. The only other way you could do it is if you want to follow, the Niners model, which we might actually be doing, where, you have a mediocre quarterback in Garoppolo, but you're well coached, you have a solid defense, you have a strong run game, and you kind of build off of that.
But you need the playmaker, man. Because, you look at the
agree.
49ers are in the NFC, though. You have the AFC's loaded with quarterbacks, man. You got tons of them. Lamar Jackson, too. We don't mention him anymore, but it's like you need that guy that, top 12 quarterback that can be a game-breaking talent, that he can carry the team when he has to. Like, you see Josh Allen, he carries his team. He wills his team. Patrick Mahomes, like, they will find ways to carry you. It could be bad coaching. It could be bad play. Whatever it is, they're going to find a way. You need that guy now, especially in the AFC. So you take your chance with Zach Wilson. We saw glimpses this year, but, you've got to surround him with a shitload of talent. And you need a big step next year, dude. You have to.
So then how do you balance those two things going into the offseason as far as needing to build around your quarterback, but also having historically the worst defense that the Jets have had
I don't give
pretty
a
much
shit,
in their
dude.
entire history?
I find ways to make Zach Wilson as good as possible, as fast as possible.
So do you invest in offense no matter what, even if you think there's a better player? Like I'm talking free agency or the draft or both.
Free agency, like we talked about this a little bit yesterday. What was yesterday? What else today? Tuesday? Sunday.
So Sunday.
Where it's like, I'm tired of shit, dude. But it's just like, I just think that you got to look at, I don't think right now the Jets are going to spend a ton of money in free agency. They're not going to go with these big splashing moves. You want the Scherf, you want the Dalton, you want the Schultz, you want all these Devontae Adams and all this. I don't think they're going to do, I think they're going to spend money, probably more on offense than defense. But all right, it's just,
so then let's keep it to the draft. And let's just say that somehow Thibodeau or Hutchinson fall to the Jets at 4, and then best player available still at 10, let's say is Kyle Hamilton, safety. Are you going back-to-back defense?
No.
If that's the best player available?
Well, I mean, it depends on what we get.
Or do you reach and try to just get somebody to help Wilson?
I mean, it depends on what we do in the free agency with the offensive line. I mean, I'm going to go probably offensive line, receiver. I don't want no questions. Like, you look at, we need our Stephon Diggs. We need that guy. We need a guy that can carry this off. And then maybe it's Elijah Moore, but we need 3 or 4 receivers that can break this, be like a nightmare for the opposing defense. We need a legitimate tight end. If we don't get one in free agency, you got to find a way to get one in the draft. You know what I mean? You need this offensive line has got to be stout. Now, Vera Tucker was rookie of the year or something like that with the Pro Football Writers. So you have Vera Tucker. That's a good piece. We don't know what Becton is. If you want to get another tackle in there, if you bring back Fant, dude, I want to solidify everything on offense. You don't want Zach Wilson running for his life. You want to be able to run the friggin' football. If you look, a lot of these teams that run the football well, 49ers doing it, you got to figure it out, man. But listen, I get it. I understand the defense is historically bad, but you also have a lot of high-priced talent on this defense. So if that means adjusting your scheme, then because I was getting ready to do all these videos. I'm like, Carl Lawson coming back. What do you expect from him? The one good thing about his injury, if there is a good thing, is he got hurt so early in the season that he's going to have so much time to recover that he should be fully healthy by training camp. He should be back. It wasn't like he got hurt in December.
That could work the other way too. If he's putting in so much work into his rehab and he doesn't really get that time off to kind of replenish his body.
He could be it's not like he's he could be ahead of schedule. I think, but you get him back, then you say, okay, if he's there, John Franklin Myers at Quinn in the middle, does that make a difference? Then you get some lower tier guys and maybe go that way, and then I just
I'm totally with you. I think everything should be about Wilson and putting him in the best position to succeed. I just feel from Joe Douglas's standpoint, he's still looking at it like this is still probably 2 years away. We need to add foundational pieces, and if that best player available is a pass rusher or if it's a corner, I feel like that's probably the direction he's going to go in.
Dude, he better stockpile receivers. He better get the offensive lineman. He better get a tight end. I mean, you can even have a running back if you want to, but you got to have this offense catch up to everybody else, man. You can't.
You can make a legitimate argument that every single position on the roster right now could use some help. There's not one position group that doesn't need some significant.
What's the most important position on your team?
Quarterback.
To help them out, then.
Yeah,
catch them up to the rest of the NFL, man. Your division. I mean, you're gonna have. You have the Patriots are solid. The Bills are going to be the best team in the division. Who knows what the Dolphins are going to do? They're saying they're keeping 2. Will they do that? Who knows? But they're still good. You got to keep up, man. It's you got to keep, as the game advances, you got to advance with it. And especially when you're looking at, you could lose Cole, you could lose Crowder. Who knows with Barrios? Barrios is marking the shit out of himself. You could be down to 2 receivers going into the offseason. You know what I mean?
Yeah, good times.
So what's up, Balls? You passed out drunk during Rams Bucks. Bills KC. Yeah, you missed. The stream was wild, dude. We had Steve did his shotgun. Primetime did some cooking. It was.
I watched that shotgun at least 10 times, and every single time I was in tears. Funniest thing I've ever seen on this channel.
It is hysterical. Absolutely hysterical.
It was his reaction afterwards. Like when he was first done drinking it, he was so proud for like a split second, and then he realized his shirt was completely doused in alcohol, and it was like, oh shit. And that was that.
It's funny, man. It is so funny. So let's see. We got a lot of questions here in the chat. Yeah, I haven't laughed out, dude. Even my recap video, I was laughing when he started doing it. Like I couldn't keep a straight face. He threw the cane. Like I'm done. So
I didn't even see the can throw initially. I caught that on the replay.
It's funny as shit.
I couldn't even see anything when he threw it.
So what's going on? It's a couple more questions that would bring callers on. Let's see here. I think I missed one. It was a good one too. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think Aaron Rodgers could come to the AFC. I think he can go to the Broncos. That'd probably be a place we can go where they can afford him. They're loaded with talent and they're winning now.
We don't need any more quarterbacks in the AFC.
Yep.
It's like everyone's leaving the NFC. Breeze retired. Brady's on the way out soon. Rodgers could be gone. It's just more and more talents coming to the AFC right now. It's crazy.
I would trade the 10th pick for DK Metcalf. I would not. I wouldn't do that.
I don't think I could do that.
Nope.
I'd love to have DK, but I don't think I'll trade the 10th pick.
Tyson, what do you think getting the tackle Evan Neal at 4? I want Zach to be protected. I'm kind of warming up to the idea of taking him. I've seen him all throughout the top 10, man. So I understand it, man. I completely understand it. So it's.
I think that's more of a realistic possibility just because of all the questions about Becton right now, and even fans only signed for another year, so you can make a legitimate argument. You're going to need at least one, possibly 2 tackles within the next couple of years.
All right, prime time. Who should we go? We got a bunch of people on hold here. We got. Let's try Scrub Zero. That's a new name. I haven't seen this one before. He's our lead. What's the best way to help a quarterback is beef up the O-line. I completely agree with that.
Completely agree. Have the run game.
What's up, man?
What up, guys?
How you doing?
What's up, man?
Can't complain. My guy Jose recommended you guys, so I'm over here.
Uh-oh.
So you're a Seahawks fan?
Yeah. Seahawks Jose Rodriguez.
Oh, man.
That Jose, yes.
So where are you from?
I'm from New York.
Okay. Seahawks fan or Jets fan?
I'm a Giants fan.
A Giants fan? What is Jose doing, man? He's losing points for this one. This is some shit. So who do you want to be your head coach?
I was thinking about that. I'm like, I don't know. Because I was looking at all the candidates. So they sound good, but I'm worried because I've seen the past 3 head coaches just for all the different failures for different reasons. So
do you want like a more experienced guy? It seems like Brian Daboll's the guy that everybody wants, but would you want a Flores instead?
Personally, I would prefer Flores. I don't think that's going to happen. A lot of it seems to be going to Dable. It could be Leslie Frazier because I've heard some of that too. Yeah. I would prefer a guy who has some head coaching experience, but that's not the end of the world if he doesn't.
So did we last year, and then we eventually settled on Saleh. Great. No matter who it is, you're going to be happy once he's brought in. You'll find ways to justify it, as we always do.
Yeah, and the question is the offense, because that offense has been god awful.
So what do you think about Daniel Jones?
I don't think he's a franchise guy, personally. Yeah. Now, that's not to say that maybe he proves me wrong, because from how bad the offense was the last 6 games and the past 2 years, it's like, all right, how much of that was him? How much of that was the offense? So there's still questions on that. I think you could do a lot worse.
Healthy.
That too. Health is a major concern. But that alliance has been an issue for the past 10 years.
Yep.
So no matter who comes in.
Is there a quarterback you'd feel comfortable taking in the top 10?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No. I can tell you that right now. No.
That's why I think the Giants' job is a tough job, man, because you have a team that's in flux, you're rebuilding it, and you have the most important position you have a question at. It's like Daniel Jones is an enormous question, man. That's tough, dude.
Yeah, and then the cap space isn't good either.
Nope.
Like you got.
So then, basically, what we're telling you is just come to the Jets, man. We got $60 million in cap space. We got Zach Wilson. We got 2 top 10 picks. It's much easier to be a Jets fan these days.
No, it's not.
Come on, man.
It's paying for be a New York fan, no matter what sport it is.
No, New York football has been bad.
So who do you think is closer to actually turning it around, Jets or Giants?
As of right now, I'd say the Jets. Now,
Good answer.
I heard what you guys were saying with you want to fix the offense, and I agree with, like, get the playmakers, focus on offense. I get that, but you don't want to just say that and then just say, all right, we focus on offense. We need to get, and a lot of good guys off the board, and you just say, all right, we're getting a guy for the sake of getting a guy, because that does you no good either.
Yep.
We seen teams get guys and they don't pan out, whether it be development, the player itself, and so.
Yeah, it's a fine line. It's a fine line of like position and need, reaching. It's a fine line, man. It's tough. We got to hope we get this year's Joe Douglas and not year one of Joe Douglas where he drafted like shit.
Right.
So, well, thanks for joining us, man. We left the show with a Giants fan, so now our chat's gonna hate us. So have a good night, man.
All right, you too. Thank you.
Have a good night, man.
God damn it, Jose. First call of the night with a Giants fan. Come on, man.
He did that on purpose.
He did. Now he's on our shit list, man. Absolute shit list for him. We're going to go to Chris. What's up, man? I think you're on mute. So we start with a Giants fan. The second call's on mute. This is definitely an off-season
This is what happens when you kick Bubs out of the leadoff spot. I blame you.
This is a disaster. An absolute disaster. Nope. He's on mute.
Still muted.
Yep.
Is that better?
There you go.
All right. We got it. Starting off on a shit show, huh? So starting with Jose and gonna end with Jose today, huh? So I guess before getting into Jets, what'd you guys think of the fights this weekend, specifically the Moreno and Figueiredo fight? I think Moreno got hosed.
Oh, I think
it was close. I thought Figueiredo had it.
You think Figueiredo had it? Both of you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so. But I'd like to see a fourth fight, though. I'd definitely see him fight again.
Yeah, I think they're going to run that one back. They might. I don't think it's going to be an instant, rematch, but I think it's going to come.
Yeah, good fight though.
Yeah. So, man, that stream on Sunday, I'll fully admit I was watching it. I didn't have you guys on. I know, scold me, but
no, I wouldn't watch this either.
I was scrolling through Twitter, and I see you retweeting Romeo's tweet, and then instantly, it's just like I gotta see this. And man, I mean, everything was so perfect. And again, this is coming from someone who doesn't drink, never drank.
Yep.
But that can throw in the can, like that was.
He was so proud of himself, man. He was like, "This is it."
Yeah, no, it was golden. I mean, props for him for making good on the bet and everything like that.
And somehow, with all that he spilled on himself, the can still made a thud when he threw it. Like it sounded like there was still liquid in there somehow. Like I don't know how that was possible. With all that spilled on his shirt.
So, going back to what you said, Prime Time, like talking about like the Bengals, like. I read somewhere a couple days ago, like it's crazy the path that the Bengals were on and that the Jets were on. In like 2019, the Bengals only won 2 games. One of those games was a meaningless December win against Cleveland. And, that was the same thing with the Jets 2020. And then the next year after that, they win 4 games, beating Tennessee, Jacksonville, and Houston. Same thing as us. And then this year, look where they are. Look what they're doing. I mean,
so you're saying we're going to the championship game next year?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Let's go. Lock it in. Lock in those bets. So,
yeah, but it's interesting with the Bengals though, because Zach Taylor after 2 years could have been fired, but Joe Burrow got hurt. So Joe Burrow kind of saved him, where he gave you a glimpse of playing so well. He got hurt, but like 2 really bad years. If that would have happened here, you're probably been under the hot seat. Like, what's this guy doing?
Yeah, I think a lot of people forget that, like the level of play that Burrow was on before he went down with that ACL. Like he was lighting it up. He was playing like a man possessed. Like, I mean, you had Herbert, but Herbert was still taking a backseat to Burrow with how he was playing. So, but
see, that's the difference. So like everybody wants to say like, talking about the Bengals, like you talk about Burrow, you talk about Herbert. Like Zach hasn't played like either one of them yet. Like we're giving him credit for being like a game manager, a little bit more like running the offense, doing a lot of good things. But like to the level they were playing, like their next step was like they went from good to great. Zach's got to get to good, like consistently be good and then get higher. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think you saw it trending that way towards the end of the season. You know, he was taking care of the ball more. He was making smarter plays, but, you know, that's where this offseason comes in. You got to surround him with talent. And then, you know, hopefully this season is when we'll know, or at least have a better indication, not, well, if this scenario or if that scenario, like you should have something more concrete. And like, you know, especially having more Carter on the field at the same time, you know, ABT blocking for him, Becton hopefully back, hopefully playing better than he showed in training camp and everything like that. So, I mean, a lot of what ifs, but
so what?
you know,
so
that's why those guys get paid the big bucks to
so
figure
in
it out.
free agency, you're going to have like over $60 million, and obviously a lot of holes. You have a lot of guys on 1-year deals, a lot of holes all over the place. But do you chase any big names? Is there any high priority guys? Like, you know what, I have to get this guy on our team. Like, or do you say, you know what, we're not going to go bargain basement shopping, but we're going to go get really good value. So instead of getting your tier 1 free agent that's going to cost you $17 million a year, you get your $10, $11 million guys.
I feel like a broken record with everybody else, but I think tight end is one that I'd like to splurge on. And even still with that, I wouldn't want to ignore that in the draft. I would still love, like, assuming we, you know, stay put at where we're picking, you know, invest one of those second round picks in one of those tight ends, like, you know, get 2 of them going. What we showed, you know, Croft was serviceable at best, you know, before he got hurt. But I mean, the position isn't scaring anybody, no matter who you're trotting out on the field right now. So they could do better with all that. I mean, I still would love, you know, the pass rusher in the draft, but I mean, I would hope they make a big, strong play with Devontae Adams. It's a pipe dream though. It's never going to happen.
Nope.
But I mean, I would love, you know, someone like Schultz. I saw somewhere out there, is Uzama from the Bengals? Is he a free agent?
Yep.
Yeah, he is.
Yep.
I have a hard time not thinking that he won't be back with the Bengals, but he's another one, man. He's pretty sneaky good.
Yep.
You know, the one person. Sorry.
I was gonna say, like, if you're Joe Douglas and you have your list of like 4 or 5 guys, Devontae Adams, Schultz, like they're your top premium free agents, you think they automatically change your culture. You offer them top dollar, but they still won't come here. Are you still spending that money anyway, just to spend it on like that second tier guys, or are you just focused more on like the 1 or 2 year deals and making sure you're flexible with that cap space going into next year?
At some point, you can't just keep doing the 1 or 2 years. Like the optics of it really aren't that good as you keep going. But you can make the argument.
But then isn't that how? And I'll let you finish. Like, isn't that how you get into the position that we were in with McCagnon, where you threw that money at Tremaine Johnson, like trying to fix up all these holes, trying to find those premium guys, but that weren't really that elite tier.
True, but at some point too, you have to trust in the fact that Douglas is who he says he is when it comes to a talent evaluator. You know, because at this point too, like he's running out of the honeymoon phase if he's not gone with it already. Salah still has, you know, maybe a smidge left, but you know, now it's their asses that are on the line. Like, you know, you could say like, you know, my draft picks are my babies and everything like that, but there has to be a balance. You can't be 100% free agency, 100% draft. Like you just have to make those smart plays, and like you have to take those chances. You have to
look at Joe Douglas's free agency class this year. His first 2 years, it hasn't been good, dude, at all.
No, and I mean, no one could argue that. I mean, you have Fant, and then what else do you have? I mean, that's pretty much it. Like it's
McGovern, I guess, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's another one. I mean, it wouldn't like say slam dunk by any means, but probably more favorable. But
like the one thing is like we're trying to set like we're like my standards are a little bit lower for free agency, saying I don't think we're gonna get the Devontae Adams. I like all these top level guys I don't see happening, but like I still have like Joe Douglas still has to do something though. You have to get creative. That means, hey, you know what? I gotta make some trades, or I gotta do other shit, or I gotta you gotta finagle something, man. Like we can't just keep giving him a pass. Like, well, you know what? Nobody wants to play here. We got outbid. At some point, you gotta play big boy football here and step up and get shit done. Yep. So I don't care how you do it, but if there's a guy I think get it done.
I think making a trade might be a little bit more realistic than signing one of those top.
I think that's come here. We're going to trade something. I mean, I agree. Like I wouldn't touch. I like the idea of having the talent of Metcalf, not for 10, because you even see like how disinterested he is when he gets the ball. Like he still has like that, what does it say? The mentality. Like he's not. I don't want to say not stable because that's not what I'm trying to say, but like
Every time.
he's off the handles a little bit. Like when he's emotional. I guess that's the best way to put it. You know what I mean? And like he doesn't have that tunnel vision yet. If he's able to hone that in, like there's nothing stopping that man. Like he's a physical specimen. You know, he could ball. I mean, the idea of, you know, still pairing him up and having the Elijah Moore, DK Metcalf Ole Miss connection, that it would be pretty sweet. But the one person, now I'm a Penn State fan when it comes to college. The one person like I don't hear linked to us at all, like even the thought of it, is Jahan Dotson from Penn State. Watching him week in and week out, that dude is a baller. And I mean, if we don't want to like invest a first round pick, should hopefully be there in the second round. I saw something today. He wasn't on the
Senior Bowl, right?
Yeah. So did you guys see what was up? Is he just not there? Is he?
I saw that he wasn't there, but I don't know what happened. I didn't get you to read about it.
Yeah, I didn't see anything either.
But I'll let you guys go real quick though before I go. Two things. Tyson not looking too good as far as the kill switch show.
Why? What happened now?
Dude, it's looking like we're getting hit with a nor'easter. So
it's gonna be gone by Saturday, though, isn't it?
No, from what I'm seeing, it's Sunday into Monday. There's a real good local group around here that does it. They're still trying to hone in the path of it yet. So kind of
it's supposed to be done by Saturday.
I see. The last I heard, it was Sunday into Monday. So I mean,
well, this is prime time. This concert's in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, so maybe it's different there. We're getting the snow here Friday and Saturday.
That's still not too far away from you, though. You know what I mean?
Don't kill my dreams, man.
No,
we had a.
I don't want it either, man.
The show started with a we started with a Giants call. You're on mute. Now you're shooting my concert down.
What could I say, man? I like to think I had some decent calls. I was due for a good one. I mean, the broken clock is right twice a day, so maybe I just blew my load early or something. But
you're doing good, man. But
one more thing. If you guys go ahead and do the fan case stuff like you're talking about,
yep, we're doing it.
I'm working on something. You know, if you could squeeze me in, I might have a pretty decent surprise to show off.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
all right,
so, you're getting squeezed in, dude. Everybody that wants to be on, we're doing it. So we're getting them all done.
Let me know, man. Like I said, nice little hike spot. Assuming it's not too bad, you know, go grab some Northeast PA pizza. Show you some real pizza. Yeah, open invitation.
Why you guys say real pizza? You're gonna discount the Jersey Shore pizza now?
Huh?
Are we having pizza wars now too on this show?
Hey, if that's what we got to do, that's what we got to do. If it gives me an excuse to come hang out with you guys down that way and get some pizza, it sounds like a good deal to me. So,
Chris, good talking to you, man.
All right, always, brother. Have a good one, guys.
Have a good night, man.
See you, man.
Don't ruin my goddamn kill switch show. Damn it.
Ruins your kill switch and takes a shot at Jersey pizza.
I know. I have to go watch him in Brooklyn. Ugh, don't want to do that, but what are you gonna do? Chris is good, man. Chris is definitely good. Let's see. We got here a lot of comments on DK Metcalf. Let's see. That's a tough. I don't think. Not a first round pick. He's 24 years old. Never missed a game. He does have those. I know Java doesn't like him because he doesn't run routes. He always just goes deep. I don't know. Sometimes they question his effort. He reminds me. He kind of has like the all field kind of thing like Juju. I think almost, isn't it? Kind of like that same like those characteristics. It seems like. I don't know.
Seems like if he doesn't get the ball, he kind of checks out a little bit. But
yeah. So let's see what Neal says. We have 2 tackles that can play. I want them to draft Linderbaum at 4 and London at 10, unless Thibodeau is there.
4?
Woof. You're taking a center at 4?
I don't think I've seen one mock where he's not there at 10.
No, I've seen him later than that too.
I've seen a few where he's still there, like in the early 20s.
Yeah, that's. What's up, Jose? Hey, guys, spending my birthday with my favorite content and my fellow Jets fans. What's up, Jose? Happy birthday. See that prime time?
Oh, happy birthday.
It looks like a lot of negativity about DK Metcalf in the chat tonight. Guess people don't like him. See, the 2 names that are interesting here is Calvin Ridley and Amari Cooper, especially Amari Cooper. I don't think the Cowboys are going to release him, but they got some cap problems down there. So what they're going to do there with him.
What about Mike Thomas? Saints.
Another one. Saints are going to be having a fire sale, too. They got to get rid of some players, too, man.
But
a lot of interesting cuts are going to happen.
Thomas's cap hit this year, I think, is like $24 million. You willing to take that
big,
on?
Man. Yeah. All right, so we're going to go. Okay, since I called the first 2 callers, who do you want to bring on prime time?
Bring back Bubs.
Our former leadoff hitter.
Start. Yeah, you push.
So now, how long until he mentions his podcast or show? What do you think? How long do we give him?
Probably like 30 seconds.
Yeah,
I might save it for the end.
What's up, man?
Hello. Thanks for having me on again.
No
What's
problem,
up, man?
Kind of just to begin, because I have a couple questions too. I know because we're on the topic of it, like DK Metcalf, I am with most of the fans that I do not want him. Especially I would not. I mean, it would be great to get him, but I'm not gonna give up a first round pick or a 10th overall or whatever pick for him
What
because
would you give up for him then?
not at first. That if anything, earliest like a second, if anything. But I mean, even that's pushing it because you kind of mentioned the whole Juju comparison, and I'm not a fan of Juju.
Yeah.
And I feel like when you're trying to build, kind of like I mentioned last week, when you're trying to build a foundation, you're trying to build a culture. It's like he even mentioned a little bit this season, like he was tired of losing and he was all frustrated. He was talking to the media and like, you guys were saying like he checks out if he doesn't get the ball. Like that's just the type of player that I don't want in a locker room, especially a locker room full of, young players like Elijah Moore and stuff.
That's the key thing right there. Like if you look back, not to cut you off, like if you look back in like 2009, 2010, like when we brought in Braylon Edwards, Antonio Holmes, we were able to take that risk because we had leaders throughout that locker room. Right now, I don't know if you could say the same about that.
Yeah,
Corey Davis is a leader, isn't he?
If he's on the field, I mean.
And then Jahan Dotson too is like the other card mentioned, a guy who Corey Davis had a little bit of. I mean, you gotta hope he comes back better this season. He dropped a lot of passes last year. Dotson was a guy this season, I believe he had like 91 catches, and he had some record or something for most catches in a row in college or something. So a guy that you could look in the second round if you wanted to focus more early rounds, like the first round with your first two picks, either on a defense or a lineman or something like that. He could be a late round addition. I know it's tough to say like right now who you want to draft, but I know Tyson, you mentioned a lot of offense, which I agree with. You want to get Wilson as the best weapons he can have because watching those playoff games over the weekend just shows us more and more and more about how big of an offseason this is for the Jets. And, you can't win 4 games next season and have to restart this 2-year cycle of garbage every year. So this is a pivotal offseason to lift Wilson, something we have not done, didn't do with Darnold. So I know it's hard to say because free agency comes first and trades and all that, but just out of kind of just speculation predictions, what would you like to see the Jets do with their first 2 picks, 4 and 10? Would you like they trade back, maybe draft 2 offense, defense, split, corner, safety? I was kind of wondering what you guys thought.
Oof. Primetime, what do you think?
I'll go first. So yeah, I think at pick 4, if somehow Thibodeau or Hutchinson are there, I think that's the obvious pick. I don't think Douglas would pass on either of those. You're all about building through the trenches. You look at what the Niners are able to do with their front 4. I think if you could somewhat replicate that, give some some help opposite Carl Lawson, considering we don't know how he's going to come back. I think that has to be priority number 1. If both those guys are off the board, then I think you're probably looking at Evan Neal or somebody on, somebody clearly on the offensive side of the ball. I don't think they would go Hamilton. I don't think there's another linebacker that they would go with or another pass rusher at 4. So I think they'd probably stick with the offense at 4. And then pick 10, that's where I'd be looking to trade down. Obviously it depends who's who's there, who falls and whatnot, but I think they'd look to probably trade down from 10.
See, like, and I'm almost curious if the pass rushers aren't there, you're not completely sold on your 4th pick to try to trade that pick there. If you can go, say, from 4 to 7 or 8 and still get your Neal or 6, you got to be – that's kind of where I would be looking around. Because every year there's going to be guys that climb the ladder, man. Every year come late March, early guys start just climbing up like, oh, you got to draft this guy, you got to draft this guy. Maybe some players get hot that other teams want.
Mm-hmm. So
that's why I just feel like if you're looking at the quarterbacks, especially where teams usually trade up, I think there's a better chance that somebody might want to trade up to 10 for a quarterback because I don't think any of these quarterbacks are going top 5.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't even know. The earliest quarterback might be like Kenny Pickett or somebody.
Well, that's even I think it was wasn't it Daniel Jeremiah? He said I'm not impressed by the top 10 picks this year. Isn't that what he said?
Yeah,
or is it him or somebody else? And like a real prominent guy was like, of all years that have 2 picks in the top 10, they're not really sold on the whole top 10 grouping.
Yeah, I think the whole fact that there's not really many quarterbacks kind of takes the I guess the value of it a little bit out, because usually it's always quarterback. You're looking at number 1 through 10. I was looking to, I know McGovern has been solid. I have seen a lot of mock drafts of Evan Neal at number 4. You guys were mentioning about Thibodeau or Hutchinson. I would love that. I don't think that's going to happen, but if they do fall, I would love to bring one of them in. Evan Neal at 4 seems more realistic. I was wondering too, what are you guys' thoughts on Linderbaum if we stay at 10 and don't trade? Would that be?
I'd be fine with it.
Something
I'd be fine with
at
it.
10.
You're gonna go what? You're gonna go tackle center in the first round? That's bold.
Then your offensive line is solid for the next how long?
So then, how are you addressing wide receiver? Are you doing that in free agency, round 2, like tight? So I guess.
Well, you got 2 picks in the second round.
I'm asking him where's my wide receiver, my tight end coming from? Free agency, round 2.
You got Elijah Moore in the second round. Get another one this year.
Like I said, I think 2. I would be fine with taking a receiver with either of the 2 first round picks. I was just throwing the offense lineman out there, but for tight end, I want to go all out for like Dalton Schultz, Gesicki, Uzoma might be. I can't see him, especially after the year they had, and him and Burrow meshing the way they are leaving Cincinnati. But he could be maybe a lower cost type player, although the year he's having, he might want more money. But I want to go all out on tight end. I don't want to rely on drafting a tight end to be the guy for the next however many years. I want to bring a guy that's already proven in this league, has already, showed what he's capable of, given, a lot of money. And receiver, I would, with Dotson possibly in the second round, free agency, you could look at Mike Williams or a lower cost, like a lot of people talked about, Gallup or somebody like that. I mean, Devontae Adams is a dream at this point. It's not happening. I could see too, wherever Aaron Rodgers goes, if he decides to leave, Adams might go with him, which, as we all know, Rodgers ain't coming to the Jets. So I assume that.
Yes, the Jet Press, the Jet Press writing article or some
I
shit.
saw that.
No wonder they blocked me.
Somebody wrote an article about Aaron Rodgers going to the Jets.
Some nonsense.
Yeah. There's one like betting site out there that has him as or that has the Jets as like the 3rd or 4th favorite to trade for him or something like that. So they did a whole article on it.
That's terrible.
Easy clickbait.
Yeah.
Easy clickbait.
He's never coming here. I mean, Devontae Adams too. But yeah, I would go tight end, definitely free agency. Draft 2, you could, there's so many different options. It's tough to tell the draft right now, like I said, but that would be my kind of plan.
To me, it's just all about free agency, man, and how the Jets go about spending their money and what decisions they make too. They got a lot of their own free agents they got to worry about, man.
Yeah.
You got Fadakasa, you have all the, Morgan Moses, you have all these players, and it's like, did they should try to bring some of these guys back? I mean, you have LDT, another guy, like he played pretty well.
Barrios,
I don't know, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to bring LDT back, but wasn't there something with his thing with in Canada with his wasn't there something about because he was the doctor over there?
Yeah,
something about him having to get I forget. It was something.
I thought there was something about him like finishing school or like he still wants to go
Yeah.
back and like finish off his career, like being a doctor or something like that. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know
Yeah.
if he's definitely coming back next year, or if he's definitely going to
Mhm.
play or not. But if he is,
But even to
to
get him on like a cheap 1 or 2 year deal would be fine. Also too, like just
gotta have
whether it
depth.
starts or depth or whatever. Never can have too much, especially to build around Wilson. But I can't agree more. This is a big off season to build around Wilson. You need to, lift him. Like they said on the call when they gave him the call to draft him, they said that this team's going to lift you. So they gotta live up to that because you watch all these other teams, you see what they've done, you see what the Bengals have done with Burrow, Allen and the Bills. Like this is huge because, like I said, we cannot go through another season of nothing in the off season, win 4 games next year, and blow it all up again and restart and try to buy into the next.
Well, especially when you see the way the AFC is stacking up now. All these young quarterbacks, all these offenses are getting ready to take off. We can't be 2 years behind. We got to find ways to get caught up as fast as possible. And you made a good point because let's be honest, like, I think Douglas and Salah obviously I think they both have 2 more years each at least. But, you got to take another step next year. We can't say, you know what, this is going to be another 4-win season. No, you got to get up in that 7-8 range. And then your third year, we all expect playoffs. We kind of expect like a good run next year, but your third year, no excuses. I don't want to hear about, well, we're still rebuilding. Every team's turning things around now. Like you could turn things around in 2 years, man.
Yeah. Yes, totally agree. 11 years of No
And
playoffs.
that's
has
after
been
we gave him a full
bad.
pass on year one because of Gase.
Yep.
Mhm.
So.
Yeah, can I have another draft class like 2020?
Nope.
No.
If he has
Nope.
another one of those, we're really
Or
in for
another
a long
free
one.
agency class like he's been having, where these guys are all
Yeah.
coming in. They're either not good or they're getting hurt. Like it's the Carl
Mhm.
Lawson thing's unfortunate, but I mean, he had an injury past. Corey Davis right now has been a mediocre signing. The rest of the guys have been rough, dude. It's not been a good,
I'll slightly disagree with you there. If they have an elite draft again, and even better than last year, something like that this year with all the picks they have, but free agency's kind of so, I would take that.
Oh, what, a really good draft and average free
he
agency.
wastes $60
Yeah,
million
yeah,
and gets nothing
yeah.
out of it.
I mean, if it's more of like the 1 or 2 year deals where we still have that money to spend again next year, but we didn't really get anything out of it this year, but young players developed, and we've got 2 solid classes in a row that we can kind of build around.
Well, right now
I'd be
he's
happy-
giving
I'd be
out
happy
three
with
big.
that.
He's giving out 3 big contracts. John Franklin Myers, which doesn't look good right now. Corey Davis, which looks questionable, and then Carl Lawson, we don't know because he's not healthy.
And
So,
all 3 of those they can get out from after next year.
I understand, but I mean, do you want to keep doing it every 2 years, recycling out all your marquee players? At some point, you want a guy that's gonna be here 5 years and be a major contributor.
And that's where
Yeah.
your draft picks come in. Build through the draft, right?
I
That's what
forget
we've been
what
hearing since he got
Mosley's
here.
on.
Build through the draft.
Well, Mosley was McCagnon, but isn't Mosley on his what 3rd year, 4th?
Technically, it's his
what?
2nd year because he opted
Yeah,
out of
'cause the
he
whole-
opted out
yeah,
of year
opt-out.
2. So this past year was his 2nd year of his contract. So
Yep.
next year is year 3.
Yeah, because then he had the groin injury.
Yep.
Bubs, good talking to you, man. Thanks for calling in.
Yep. Thanks for having me on.
Have a good night.
See
Have a
you.
good night.
John Franklin Myers was fine. Really? That's you got your $15 million worth out of him last year? I can 1000% disagree with that. Corey
I
Davis
was getting tagged in some stuff on Twitter that apparently he's causing havoc and nailing quarterbacks still. He's just not getting the sacks. So
Corey
Whatever
Davis
league
is better
treatment.
than he gets credit for. We don't hate him. We want to earn his paycheck. Drop passes, falling down, getting injured. It wasn't like his first year was not impressive, was it? I mean, am I missing something here? Now he was impressive.
when the season started, no. In training camp, I mean, we were watching him every day. He was Zach Wilson's favorite target. They were, it seemed like they were developing a nice rapport together. And then season started, he was dropping passes, he got hurt. See what happens
Like
next year. I don't
the
know.
thing is, like, I think we have to have higher standards here, right? Like we've had really bad receivers for so long. So if a guy does decent, we're gonna say he was really good. They gave him a big contract. That's supposed to be one of our building blocks, cornerstones. Became a captain, and his play was very inconsistent. Drop passes, falling down, just didn't. Many like that was the first half of the season. How many big drop passes the Jets had to let Zach Wilson down?
Seemed like there was
And
at least
Elijah
one
Moore
every game.
included.
Yeah, there was at least one every single game.
Yeah, and then he got hurt. I mean, it's okay to it's okay to like players, but be able to say, listen to it, they're disappointing. I'm an enormous Carl Lawson fan. I'm disappointed he got hurt, man. It's a big letdown because now you're like, what are you gonna get this year?
And I think the same thing with John Franklin Myers that the chat's not getting. Like, he's a good player. I just don't think he's a $12 million a year player. I don't think the contract that he was given, I don't think his play warranted that, especially at the time that it was given. You gave it to him after week 4 when he had 2.5 sacks, coming off a year where he had 3.5 sacks last year or something like that. I mean, his entire career, he's had, I think it was like 11 or 12 sacks, and you're paying a guy that much money for that.
And the thing is, it's just
there's ways that they can get out of it. It's not all guaranteed, but I just don't think he's that kind of player.
Yeah, and the thing is, you want to get the most bang for your buck. Like the Jets have a lot of holes, so you want to get maximize every dollar you have. If you're going to give, John Franklin Myers, whatever it is, $12 million a year, $15 million, and he's not getting that. That money can be spent elsewhere. So hopefully now, if with Carl Lawson comes back, he moves inside, he becomes a player that everybody hopes he is. I like the guy. Like I don't hate any Jet player, but you just want to see him play better.
And not just that, but the money that you're paying him now, I mean, that probably prevents you from signing Fedukasi. Because you can't put $60 million into your defensive line between Lawson and Quinn Williams, and now you're going to sign Foley on top of John Franklin Myers. You can't have that much money up front.
That's the whole thing. Like you look at all the pass rushers that are going to become available on the market. I'm like, okay, everybody wants to go out and sign one. I'm like, how much money are you going to spend in this line? I'm like, at least if you draft a guy that the cost is a lot less than the $15-16 million a year guys. It's a tough spot, man. And like we're not hating anybody, but it's just holding people accountable a little bit. Like everybody loves their players. If everybody was so good, why they had the worst fucking defense in football? That's what I want to know. That's my only question I have. Everybody was good.
Scheme.
Yeah.
Scheme. Coaching.
So we're gonna bring back we got another Chris back to back. We got Bubs in between. What's up, Chris?
What's up, Tyson? Kevin, how we doing?
What's up, man?
Good, man.
How are you?
Not much. All these guys defending Corey Davis. Give me a break. That guy stinks. There's the Titans saw it for 4 years, chose not to exercise the 5th-year option, and
Didn't even give him an offer. I think that spoke
didn't even
volumes.
give him an offer. That doesn't happen by accident, particularly with teams that are going out and trying to win. And the Jets were sucking into it, and you understand why. He was a top 10 pick, whatever, good size, speed, all that, and you have a huge gap there. For what it was, when I think about evaluating these free agents, the first thing I ask is, what's the availability look like, and what's the reliability look like? Corey Davis, Lawson, not available, didn't play enough games, and when they were Lawson wasn't on the field, but when Corey Davis was on the field, was not a reliable option. I think about, was this guy doing things to help out Zach Wilson at all? Did he make tough catches in traffic? Did he bail him out in third down? Every opportunity he had to do that, he came up short. And I know that, given the lack of talent on this roster, he's going to be back next year, and it is what it is. But you got to bring in another option in the draft, and you've got to sign a free agent to kind of offset what you're not getting from Corey Davis. I just don't view him as a reliable. And I just saw the screen flash Allen Robinson, you guys want Allen Robinson in here, like you're going to be, that's what you're going to have to choose from. And I'm not sure those guys are going to do much to help this team.
If they did add a legitimate number one, plus you figure Elijah Moore, add a tight end as well. If Corey Davis is now your third or fourth option, do you think that helps him out a little bit? Like less attention to him? Maybe he's just not that number one guy.
Yeah, I mean, the way I'm thinking about building this offense, the Devontae Adams, that guy's never becoming available. He's not. You're going to be choosing from like the Mike Williams of the world, and again, like you want to go out there and pay that guy $15 million. I don't. What I'd rather do is I'd rather just sign a bunch of guys, try to get 5, 6, 7 athletes on this field, whether they play tight end, whether they play running back, H-back. I think about what Deebo Samuel is, that 49ers offense, and I go, I don't know what the hell that guy is. Is he a running? It's kind of like when they brought Percy Harvin in here a few years ago.
Yeah.
Like Percy Harvin was supposed to be that chess piece where you just went like, he runs like a running back. He's not super big, but like get the ball in his hands and just let him run around.
Elijah Moore could be that.
He could be that, and that's why look, if you can go get Devontae Adams, go get him. But they're not. It's not a realistic option.
No.
Also, I'm calling Tom Brady to retire here, and how about Aaron Rodgers to the Packers? I'm sorry, to the Bucs.
That wouldn't surprise. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to go to Colts. That's where I think he's going to go.
Somewhere in the AFC, just to haunt us.
They just dumped that first rounder on Wentz. I just think a nice Republican state down there in Florida, no state income tax. He's got all the all-stars lined up there. Bruce Arians will give up, some future head coach's entire draft. He doesn't give a shit. He's going to be out of here anyway.
If Brady does retire, I wonder what the Bucs do with Chris Godwin then, because I think they're going to try to keep those guys all around. But if Brady leaves, they got a lot of free agents, man. They can't keep everybody.
It's either they're going to have to rebuild, or they go out and make a desperate plea for some better. Bruce Arians is going to stick around for some rookie quarterback or some unproven, commodity. Same reason why Sean Payton, couldn't get out of New Orleans quick enough this year. $75 million over the cap. It's like, look, he doesn't want to do that. You can go steal Mike McCarthy's job,
Yep. Now it's going to be interesting, man.
Yeah, but I'd say just last point, when they think about the draft, this is a weak draft class up at the top. I don't think Evan Neal is going to be the top tackle in this class. I think Cross might end up jumping him. I believe he's from Missouri. But I also think at 10, I wouldn't do it at 4. In this draft class, with it being kind of light in talent up top, I wonder if Kyle Hamilton is there. And I've watched a little bit of him, but I kind of think of him as that like modern tight end on defense, right? Like modern tight ends are just pumped up wide receivers at this point. I kind of view him as like a pumped up safety linebacker hybrid that you move around. I hated Jamal Adams. I'm sorry.
He's got better range than Jamal Adams.
Better range, ball hawk, bigger, and you think he can kind of build up that frame. Like he's 6'3", 6'4", 220 already. Like if he could pack on 10 pounds and become that kind of like Taylor May type athlete, like move him up near the line of scrimmage. I think he can be an interesting piece to a defense. Again, as a general philosophy, I wouldn't pick safeties in the top 10, but with a weak draft class and the Jets just needing talent anywhere they can, especially big holes in the middle of the field, I wonder if that would be a good option. But anyway, guys, love the show. There's another Jet stream going on right now, and there's a reason why everyone's here. You guys are the best.
Yeah, good night, man. Thank you. We appreciate it.
I thought he was about to say there's another jet stream. I gotta go.
That's why I think he said I'm gonna go over there right now. I thought like, that's fine with me.
Like, damn.
I know a lot of those guys are doing they're doing like all their X's and O's like draft valuations. I'm not even nowhere near that yet right now.
Not even close yet. I'm like 2 months away
Nope,
from
I can't do it. I'm like trying to study all the free agency shit right now that I don't do like during the regular season.
Yeah.
We'll go back to our good friend Mr. Coors Light. What's up, man?
How we doing, guys?
Where the hell you been?
I've been busy, I got COVID a couple weeks ago, but just
Well, if you had COVID, you're sitting home doing nothing. You should be calling in here.
I got hit pretty hard one day, but it was all right after that.
Was it a Monday or
guys
Tuesday?
been?
Then you have no excuse.
I don't have any excuse, but
Can't keep Jomo down.
To be completely honest, this is why during the season at least, I didn't want to be the guy that's just Mr. Negative every week.
Yeah, it was Jake.
So you leave it to me. Thanks, man.
I tried to stay away. But no, guys, how we feeling? We're feeling optimistic. What are we thinking?
I mean, they have a lot of opportunities, man. Okay, prime time.
I was gonna say my feelings change like every hour. Like 1 minute I'm trying to be a little more optimistic. I'm watching all these teams with their rebuilds and in 2 years, 3 years turning it around. But then like we were talking about earlier, like all these teams, they're pulling ahead of the Jets right now. They've got all these young quarterbacks that are gaining all this experience. Like we have so much catching up to do.
Here.
All right, do it, please.
But Mike LaFleur is probably the best play caller we've had in a long time around here. So his offense shows he's doing good things. He did it at the end of the season with pretty much everybody hurt. So he was doing a lot. He was featuring Berrios at one point and made him a superstar now. So you get year 2 of Elijah Moore, Corey Davis healthy, adds more pieces. Michael Carter full year, hopefully he's healthy. It's a lot of good things.
I like the progression I saw, to be completely honest, throughout the season. The first half was rough, but I feel like Wilson played better ball. The no turnovers for 5 straight games is very nice. Guys started going down towards the end of the season.
How many games did they play all together? Elijah Moore, Michael Carter, and Zach Wilson. They didn't all play that many games.
Honestly, I can't even count, to be completely honest. I don't know, and I wish I saw it because Michael Carter started to emerge, and then Wilson got hurt, and then Elijah Moore started to emerge, and then Carter got hurt, and then Moore was, and it was just like a carousel of either one of them was hurt at the same time. Vera Tucker, I loved what I saw out of him, but you know what? The main thing about this season is shout out to you guys for fucking streaming every single game. Best Jets content out there. I mean, A++. You guys are the best, really.
Thank you, man.
I don't know what was more difficult this year or last year, but got through it.
Man,
chat definitely helped.
Literally, I did not watch a lot of fourth quarters, to be completely honest. I think I got a big possum in the back here.
So now you go into the offseason. Now, obviously, it's a big thing for everybody wants to upgrade the offense. You got to find a way to do it. You have a ton of draft picks. You have a ton of cap space. What would be your biggest priority? Are there players that you say, especially in free agency, are the players you're like, I have to get this guy on this team no matter what?
Yeah, I mean, the first guy I think about is J.C. Jackson. Like, if you're going to get a big money guy, I feel like J.C. Jackson is the guy you target. Other than Brandon Sheriff, he would be my guy on offense. I think you throw a bag at Allen Robinson, see if he takes it or not. If he doesn't, I really like Michael Gallup. I would love to see Gallup on this team.
Hold on. Going back to Allen Robinson for a second. Would you give him a 1-year deal? 'Cause I think he may take a 1-year deal because he's coming off such a bad year where he has no stats.
Yeah.
So you know what? 1 year, I don't know, $10, $12 million.
I'd give him 15. Oof. 1 year, 15, man. I don't care. He's a stud.
All those guys that
Corey Davis.
All those guys that you listed, though, Robinson coming off a down year, Scherf with the injury, Gallup with the injury. I mean, just considering
Robinson
all the
was dealing
guys
with
that
shit quarterbacks.
No, I'm saying though, like you brought up one guy that's off a down year, 2 guys that were hurt. Like just considering what we saw last year, like don't you think Douglas might have some hesitation going after guys that were just hurt?
I don't think he'll have hesitation with a guy like Gallup. I think Gallup's upside is crazy. I mean, he's part of the reason why that Dallas
he got hurt in
offense
like
was
December, didn't he?
Yeah, he got hurt pretty late.
What the hell is his recovery timetable?
I don't even know.
Training camp?
What was the injury? An ACL?
Yeah, I think it's a torn ACL, right?
I don't know, but I like him a lot. I think he shows a lot of promise. If you could get him for 1 year, $5-6 million, I'll take him.
Oh, that I'd be on board with, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not nothing big. Barrios, I'd give him. Sorry, I said to kick rocks. I'm sorry, Braxton Barrios.
So what are you paying Barrios now? Let's hear this.
I mean, I'll give him 4 years, like 33 million, something in that range. I mean, I really think he's just a key piece. You saw the chemistry between him.
So you're gonna give Barrios $8 million a year?
It's eight.
I mean, how much did we give Crowder when we first signed him? Wasn't he getting 10?
Crowder's a lot more.
And this is
Barrios.
this is a homegrown guy. He's got
okay, but
chemistry.
Can I ask you a question while we're doing this Barrios love fest? And I like Barrios. How much of his opportunities will go away if you have a healthy Elijah Moore?
Well, I mean, yeah, he's going to miss a lot of opportunities, but that's part of the reason why you keep a guy like that is because of injuries and stuff. Like, I'm not going to trust Corey Davis and Elijah Moore to go through a whole season again. It's just not going to happen. And if you keep Barrios, I mean, as of right now, who are our receivers? Davis and Moore, like Davis
Denzel Mims, man, come on.
Oh God,
the resurrection.
Oh God, no, they don't like him for whatever. I mean, he was dropping a lot of balls. I mean, it was.
That's a lot of money that's a lot of money for Barrios, man. Wow.
But I think it depends more on what's guaranteed in the contract, especially like year 3 and year 4.
I mean,
if you're only guaranteeing the first 2 years,
don't justify his bad take.
No, if you're only guaranteeing him the first 2 years, yeah. I don't think it's that big a deal. If you're paying him like 15 million over the first 2 years, and that's all that's guaranteed, that's not a huge deal, I don't think.
I mean, I'm just basing it off of what we gave Crowder and what we could give this guy. Cap is up.
It sounds like a lot initially. It sounds like a lot.
But you know who's going to snag him up if we don't is Bill Belichick. You know, Jacoby Myers.
So in your opinion, you want to pay more for a player instead in case he goes somewhere else?
I don't think it's
that's not a good way of doing
personally,
business.
I don't think it's paying more. I think he's worth.
You just said you're worried about it.
Well, I think Belichick would sign him if we don't get him extended before free agency.
We're still in the Jets tax world.
We got to pay for guys. You know. What do you guys think about bringing Sheldon Richardson back?
I always like Sheldon.
If we lose Foley.
That's one jersey I could start wearing again. So yeah,
I'd fully
be on board with that.
Yeah,
I would like that, the reunion with Richardson. I think
he's
we need
been
a
consistent,
lot of
man, over the years.
Yep. He has been against the run, everything, and our defensive whole defense as a whole. I think the last time I came on here, I was just bashing the defense, but the whole defense as a whole is pretty terrible, to be completely honest. I mean, there's not a bright spot I saw in there all season. I mean, guys just hurt. I like Eccles, sure, but I mean everybody else.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
So Marcus May's coming off a serious injury. Obviously not going to franchise tag him like that. He's going to be a free agent. Would you give him a 1 year deal? 1 year kind of like, hey man, $6-7 million a year. You're coming off an injury. 1 year deal. See what he has.
I like Marcus May. I think he's a talented player. I think he's a leader in the locker room. I would like to bring him back on a 1 year deal. I don't think it's going to happen. I think too much blood in the water with that one.
Yep,
but
I think so too.
It is what it is. I would like Quandre Diggs. I think there's a lot of second round safeties that we could get. I like the kid from Penn State, Brisker. Seems pretty athletic.
Pinnock could be in the conversation too.
Yep.
I liked what I saw from Pinnock. I liked it a lot. I mean, I thought he really played well. I'm not going to say good, but he played well. I really want that kid Trey McBride, and I want to take him with that second round pick. Like I don't care. See, I'm the type of guy, and I'm going to say this next. I'm the type of guy that I have conviction that Tyler Linderbaum is going to be a bona fide stud in this league. Like, so you take that motherfucker at 4. Like
4?
Yeah, why not 10? Why not 10?
I'm not risking that. No way. There's so many teams that need offensive line help within that range, and from what everybody says about this kid is like he is a stud.
Center at 4?
If you I just watched like one game. What was it? It was Iowa versus Purdue because I was watching Karlaftis, and dude, this guy just bullies people. Like nobody's getting past him. He will plow you into the ground. Like he's a bona fide.
Reminds me a lot of Mawai, the way he gets downfield too, the way he pulls. Like,
and that's another thing. It fits the Jets. I mean, how many times have we had that center? Like, I feel like that's just a thing that like guys start feeling that sense in the locker room. Like, oh, these are the centers.
But didn't we have these same conversations last year? All the centers. It was got to take a center here, and they all fell. Didn't they all
Creed
drop
Humphrey.
like 2 or 3
Creed
rounds
Humphrey
last
was
year?
pretty great.
I don't think any of them were even talked about as potential top 10 picks though.
But I mean, they were all
No, not
all
top
like
10.
But we were all
But
talking like
this
first
guy,
round,
I
this
mean-
first round. That was it. What was he like? It was Humphrey. It was what Dickerson.
Creed
was the other
Humphrey,
one?
Creed Humphrey, Landon Dickerson. Those were like the
Yeah.
main two guys that were
The
talked about. But
Alabama
I think
guy.
even both of them were like end of the first round, early second round options.
They were
None of
early
them were
second.
even close to like first
They were
half of
early
the first
second,
round.
But I seriously don't think any of them have been talked about like Linderbaum has personally.
Linderbaum
But
at
I mean, if you
4?
don't go that route, I think Karlaftis at 4. If the other two guys are off the board, I think the either side of that line needs to be addressed. You know, with, to be honest, 4 and 10. I think if you don't take defensive or offensive line with either of those spots, I feel like, well, defense and offensive line, I feel like you got to go with 4. But at 10, I feel like you could get some room and get a receiver or a corner, like that kid from Cincinnati, or I like the kid from Arkansas too.
Okay, Jomo, good talking to you, man. You're taking
been great,
Linderbaum at
guys.
4 is going to be a rough take when people listen to this tomorrow. So
Hey man, I think bona fide stud. I'm telling you.
Hey, he's got
Have a good
conviction.
night,
I
man.
like it. Have a good night,
Take it
man.
easy, guys.
see, I have the same thing too, though. Like I get enamored with a player, and I get
Yeah.
all in. I'm like, I start like I don't want to see him get past this. But
Yep.
I don't know if this is true or not. But Neal has stopped with the center in the top 10. I saw a stat: the top 20 centers in the NFL this past season, only one was a first rounder. I don't know if that's true or not.
Sounds
Um,
true. I mean,
but I
there
remember
haven't been a
every
whole lot
year-
of first round centers in general, especially within like the top 15, top 20.
But like I remember we do all these draft shows and all these analysts come out like that, and we're like, oh, we gotta get this guy in first round, second round. And we're sitting there doing these draft shows, the guys like late second round, third round, the guys are just dropping left and right. We're like,
Yep.
dude, these guys are still available.
Yep.
So I think we tend to overvalue some players. So
Oh, that always happens.
yeah, of course. All right. We will go to we didn't put the link in here. My bad. I'm slacking off.
Want me to do it?
I got you. We will go to go to John. What's up, John?
What's up, fellas? How
Hello,
are you
John.
guys doing?
What's up, man?
Good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How's everything?
Living the
Another
dream,
Tuesday
man.
night.
Yeah. Did you see I repped you guys?
I did. You're so angry in your videos, man. You gotta go for a nice long walk, get some fresh air. You gotta exhale. Like things aren't so bad, man. Like we've let the
Buy a
anger of
dog.
the season go away.
What was that, prime time?
No, like buy a dog, like an animal, like some like
Walk the
No, I
dog.
have
or
a
something.
cat in the house. You know.
Oh, there you go. There you
Walk
go.
the cat.
I've been a lot
Yeah.
more. I've been a lot more chill than I have been,
Bro, I click on your video, and the thing is like, fuck you, this and that. I'm like, dude, the first 3 seconds, I'm like, I was offended by I'm like, what is this? I'm like, I'm fucking getting yelled at. Like I understand you hate Woody Johnson, but damn, dude.
I'm gonna check this out now. I saw you sent me the video. I didn't get a chance to watch it yet, though.
I
the
actually tagged Woody. You know.
But like, why are you so angry, man? Like it's the off season, Jets got cap space. Everybody feels good about Saleh, Douglas, Wilson.
Well,
Woody
it
Johnson's
doesn't
going to
make
spend
up
money.
for the
He's
fact
always
that-
spends money on players.
Well, it doesn't make up for the fact that the owner is an incompetent piece of shit.
But like right now at this moment, why do you hate
I'm
Woody Johnson?
happy right now. So
So you're attacking him for what reason though? Like what right now currently at this moment on January
thing is,
25th, what does
I-
Woody Johnson do to piss you off?
All right, what he did was he actually did a good thing, but when he had the Braxton Berrios give field passes to a season ticket holder. My thing on it was it's woefully inadequate because everybody, especially you, Primetime, you've been a season ticket holder so long, you and your father, and to be treated like absolute shit by this fucking clown is disgraceful. You guys should be getting accoutrements out the ass as a thank you for all the countless money that you've pumped into this franchise.
Right, but
You
okay,
guys
so listen,
will
they
return on your investment.
they haven't made the playoffs and stuff. They haven't done stuff, but they did go out and got the new coach. They got the quarterback, and now this offseason, I think they're going to try to spend money and do things. They're trying to improve. I mean, if the one thing that Woody Johnson did that we wanted to do was just back the fuck off and stay out of like football decisions. That was the biggest complaint we had was like, don't get involved. Like, let Joe Douglas handle football operations. Football guys make football decisions. You just write the checks. And as of now, he's done that. So like, if that's the progression they have, like how they handle the stadium and shit like that, that's just business. They're always.
Well, it's not
that's
just that; it's how he handles the fans that's disgraceful.
He walks around a parking lot and says hi to everybody.
You know, and to raise ticket
It's good
prices.
PR though. It's good PR to do that. I'll agree with you on one thing, John, just because of the way they handled the end of the season as far as their season ticket holders and upping the prices coming off, what's been 10 years of shitty football. We haven't seen a playoff game in the new stadium yet. And you're actually going to try to up the prices when nobody's even going to games right now. That building was half empty.
That was the
pretty much the entire year. And you have so many diehard season ticket holders that have invested so much money early in the summer, paying full price for these tickets that they can't even give away. So we're all eating this money and we're still trying to support the team. We're still trying to be positive, but at some point it's like, what do we get back from this? It's not fun going to the games anymore. It's not fun watching the games anymore. So at some point you got to be willing to give back to your fans. And yes, the ultimate way to do that is with winning football. And we're all hopeful that by him backing off and letting Joe Douglas do his thing, that eventually we're going to turn this thing around. But I just don't think right now in this moment he deserves much criticism or shit.
Yeah, but I'm not but right now, my comment, my state of mind with the Jets, I'm encouraged. I'm like, all right, listen, it's another huge opportunity to get better. I'm not angry about anything though.
And seeing let's get to the hopeful stuff. I mean, and plus that was the best weekend of football the NFL may have ever put out. It's certainly in the playoffs, the greatest playoff weekend ever for that time. Yeah. But I am really encouraged seeing the turnaround from Cincinnati. Because they were 2-14 three years ago, and we were 2-14 last year. So if we go by the same trajectory,
it's I'm sorry, I have to say this because this bothers the shit out of me. I don't know why it's bothering me. It's hard to compare the Bengals and the Jets because Zach Wilson's not Joe Burrow. Zach Wilson has not had those Joe Burrow moments. He hasn't had the Justin Herbert moments. He hasn't played like that. So to keep the comparison is so fucking different in my eyes. Yes, how they rebuilt, young coach, the Zach Taylor, the young guy, all this stuff. It's down to the quarterback. Joe Burrow was playing great before he got hurt. He came back. He's playing great now. As Zach Wilson played, he went from playing bad to okay. He showed some progress. But the level, he was never at Joe Burrow's level, ever. Is right now. I mean, am I wrong here, prime time? I missed something. Everybody wants to be optimistic. I get it, but we all want to be the Bengals. We all want to be the Bills. Zach Wilson got to take a huge fucking step for that to happen.
I don't think you're wrong at all, but do you think maybe it's just a matter of getting him that Jamar Chase, the Keenan Allen, Mike Williams combo? Is it just getting him more help? Is it him? Is it the talent around him? What is it? What's it going to take to get him?
But if he plays like Joe Burrow's first year and this year, if he plays like that this year, then you'd be like, you know what? We're on the same path as the Bills and Bengals. Right now, we're not the same path as anybody because we haven't seen it from him. And I like him. We're giving him compliments for having 5 games, no interceptions. Was it 5 games at 300 yards and a high flying offense? Was it all this different shit? Now I understand no Corey Davis, no Elijah Moore. They were all banged up. I understand all of it, but to compare him to Joe Burrow is just unfair. It's just they're not in the same. I mean, listen, I can be wrong. The chat can roast me and everything else, but everybody wants to compare the Bills, the Bengals, and the Jets. That's what we all want to do. We all want to buy into it. I want it more than anybody. But Josh Allen took an enormous step, and they gave him Diggs and they gave him all these good things. Joe Burrow's got, you mentioned Jamar Chase. He's got what 3 or 4 good receivers. Yeah. Plus he's got Joe Mixon. He's got all these things, and you have a tight end that's doing good things.
They also needed to up the offensive line. The choice was Jamar Chase and Penei Sewell. They made the right choice, but they still need offensive line help. So that's kind of why I don't know where to go. The thing is that I want to see Joe Douglas aggressive. I want him to at least make a big bid for Devontae Adams. I know he'll probably never come.
That's not going to happen.
That's not going to happen. I want him to say, here, I'm going to throw $25 million a year at you. You're playing with an up-and-coming franchise. At least try to make a play for him.
I mean, all the teams that are going to make a bid at him, I think the Jets probably the last team he wants to play for.
And I'm surprised nobody's.
It couldn't hurt to put the offer out there. I just don't think he'd even
He'd
And
laugh
I'm
at it.
surprised nobody's mentioned Odell Beckham. I mean, he's had a big resurgence, playing for the Rams, and maybe his problems were because of Baker Mayfield.
I mean, that could be. I mean, Beckham is playing some good football, man. But I mean, now he's going to get his chance to test free agency.
Is that the kind of personality though that you want to put around Zach Wilson at
He's
this stage right now in year 2?
I know he's emotional a little bit, but he's not like, Antonio Brown, type.
But is he a distraction? Does the team need that kind of distraction?
Yeah, especially if Zach Wilson's more worried about getting him the ball than actually executing the offense because he doesn't want to hear shit on the sidelines from Beckham going off.
He's punting a net in the sideline or something.
And the thing is, a lot of
these,
receivers who are free agents are coming off injuries, and I know we're not going to get the Odell Beckham of 2014 when he was setting records with the Giants, but I think they should at least look at him. As far as the draft goes, I want to start. We have to address defense with number 4. I don't know if it's going to be Thibodeau or Hamilton. Well, I don't want Stingley, but
why do we have to do defense?
If neither of those pass rushers are there, I don't think you have to go defense at all. I think the complete opposite if neither of them are there.
Okay, well,
that's just me.
No, I want to go both. I want to go defensive 4, offense at 10, and get a receiver at 10. Whether it's Treylon Burks, I'd be happy with Garrett Wilson too. Garrett Wilson fits the system that LaFleur handles. Great, great route runner. Explosive. He's like Elijah Moore on steroids, basically.
So you're more of the thinking that they need like skill position guys at 4 and 10.
Yes, without a doubt. And they need a pass rusher. If they don't get Thibodeau, I want them to trade back to 7 and try to get the Greek freak.
I just still think they're in the position. Like they just need talent, period. Like it doesn't really matter where it is. You could look at every single position group and make a case.
I wouldn't pigeon my hole to say I have to get something here. Like I wouldn't.
Yeah, at any position. If you can get a game changer, even safety or offensive line, tight end, whoever it is. I mean, we need game changers everywhere on both sides of the ball right now. So
yeah,
best player.
That
almost makes sense. I usually hate that philosophy, but I think this year with so many holes, you can make a case for best player available.
Sure. I mean, yeah, but the thing is that you saw what Salah's defense was without a pass rusher, and you saw what it was with San Francisco when he had Nick Bosa. So,
but if the top 2 guys are gone, are you reaching for the third guy? Are you reaching for the third guy at 4, or are you taking the best available, offensive tackle or whoever else? Yeah.
Tackle.
It's a tough one. My first choice would be either to get Hutchinson or Thibodeau, but if they don't fall, I could see maybe going Hamilton, but they
4
pass rush in the worst way. I would try to get. I don't want to do that, Tyson. I want to get either Hutchinson or Thibodeau.
But you just said they're not there. You take Hamilton at 4.
If not, then trade back. So
why not take the best offensive tackle available and address an enormous need?
Neal is going to go. Neal is the best offensive tackle, and he's not going past Jacksonville. He's not going past Jacksonville at the number 1 pick. It's probably going to go like this. Neal's going number 1, Hutchinson number 2 to Detroit, number 3 Houston. Depends on if they're going to trade that pick, to see if they could get one of the guys who want quarterback, to try and trade up. But I think pass rush is the biggest issue on this team. I know there's a ton of holes, but pass rush is the issue. I mean, you saw without a pass rush how exposed this team was.
I agree. I agree that pass rush is an issue. You're also getting Carl Lawson back, but I would have a more concern. Like I understand pass rush helps you win games. You know, also helps you win games a productive offense. If we learned anything from these games on Sunday, was you watch Mahomes and Josh Allen go up and down the field scoring points because the defenses were completely gassed and tired.
Yeah, so I want them to spend their picks on skill players. Get a receiver at 10, and I mean, try to make a play for Dalton Schultz, but if not, then there's Mike Gesicki, as a fallback option. If he doesn't, the thing is, we were 21st in red zone production. We need to fix that. So we need I said last week about Treylon Burks, and getting bigger receivers, but we also need better tight end production, and we could get up there in the top 10. So,
John, good call, man. Thanks for calling. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. I'm
Have a good night,
repping you guys right
There you
here.
go. Got the shirt too.
go.
Thank you,
Yeah,
man.
I got the
Looking
shirt.
good,
I know
man.
it's got a couple of popsicle stains, but
That's all
other
right.
than that,
Sometimes it's the same shit too. Don't worry about
I'm
it.
glad to represent you guys. You guys are the best fucking YouTube channel on there. Not just Jets channel, but best YouTube channel, period.
No, I wouldn't go that far.
quite a
We're just trying
statement,
to. We're just. Have a good night, man.
Appreciate
All
it.
right,
though. Thank
too,
you, man.
brother.
You know,
You
it's
good?
funny because I was watching. He sent me the link to his video. I'm like, I always like checking people's shit out. So I'm like, it comes out. He's just cursing. He's like so mad. I'm like it's the off season. Like I don't have the anger in me these days. I'm just chilling out.
I don't even think he's a season ticket holder. Like I can get it if he was a season ticket guy or PSL guy. He's been burning his money away for a while.
He texted the beat writers and Woody Johnson. So
The offseason.
Lauren, the comment on Herbert, San Diego didn't win squat. He was failed by horrific coaching. Like Herbert wasn't the problem. That high flying offense, all the good things he's doing. I mean, the coaching let him down.
Just playing devil's advocate. I mean, looking at the way the Niners won, I know it was the NFC, but do you think they might try to go that approach? Just focusing on defense and saying, you know what, we got all these young quarterbacks. We watched the way the Bucs beat up Mahomes in the Super Bowl. Maybe if we build a stout defense, maybe that's our way.
It's not the NFL, man.
I don't know.
You got to score points. I
agree.
I like the way the Niners play football. Deebo Samuel's amazing. The defense is great, but you got to be able to score points, man. End of the day, you have to. I mean, the Packers fell apart because of that. I mean, it's just you look at the AFC, who you're going to be dealing with. You got Mahomes, you got Allen, you got Lamar Jackson, you got Herbert, you got Burrow, all these high flying offenses. You got to be able to keep up with them, man. Especially when the defenses get tired. Look at that. Look at the Bills Chiefs. The defense got completely gassed. So it's crazy, man. No, Jake left us, man. I guess my last conversation didn't go too well, and he left us. That's my bad.
Oh,
because he was mad that Zach Wilson didn't run out of bounds.
scored a touchdown.
Yeah. I don't know. Gesicki, I don't know, man. He can't block. That's one thing. But I'm not sure the Dolphins let him go either, though, because that's a valuable asset for Tua. They got to build around their young quarterback too. That's one of the parts they need. So, and I hope I wasn't too rough on John, but I don't like being pigeonholed where you have to take a certain position at 4. I don't like.
No.
Well, if these two guys are gone, I have to go defense anyway. No, you adjust. No. You're flexible. Like you take the next. If you have a need of offensive tackle, take the best one available.
They have needs everywhere. Get impact players, regardless of where they play. That's how you build something. That's how you form a core. Legitimate game changers. Take the best guy that's there.
So we'll get to put the link back in here because I haven't been doing that. And then we got a question for Primetime in here.
Uh-oh.
Primetime, what's your favorite animal?
Favorite animal?
We can't have serious shows, man. We get sidetracked too easy.
I'm not a huge animal lover.
What?
I guess I'll go kangaroos. I don't know.
Wait,
kangaroos
you don't like animals? You don't like dogs, cats?
I like dogs.
Penguins?
I don't like living with them.
Come on, man.
What do you live with a dog or a cat?
All my life, dude. I had a dog all my life.
Yeah,
we had like 2 or 3 cats.
Yeah, and you probably had hair all over your shit, right?
Nope.
You're full of shit.
Swear to God, dog didn't shed, man.
And cats didn't shed either.
They were outside cats. Clothes? No, they were outside. We stayed in the garage.
I'd be fine with that. A couple outside cats, I'd have no issue with that.
Yeah, they were outside. We had the little beds in the garage, and they're kind of in there and kept them all clean and kept there, and the dog was inside. Yeah,
because my mom was that crazy cat lady growing up who had like 15 cats all over the house, going all over all my shit. So that like scarred me.
I'm an enormous penguin fan. I'm infatuated by penguins. I go up to the zoo in East Orange. What that?
Oh, Turtleback. I've taken class trips there.
Yep.
Wait, you just go there randomly?
Yeah,
play with the turtles?
I love penguins, and they had the blue penguins in Point Pleasant at the aquarium.
You're like Tony Soprano.
Fascinated by penguins, man.
Do you feed ducks in your backyard too?
Your towel.
Is it really? No, it's not. It's probably my computer that's crooked. I was actually doing that like during the early stages of the pandemic because I got that lake that's right by my house. So I would just go there, a little bread, feed all the ducks in the pond. Good times.
Yeah, I can't believe you don't like animals.
I don't not like animals. Chat's gonna be thinking I hate animals now. I just don't like living.
So you said you don't like animals.
I'm not an animal lover, is what I said.
All right, we're gonna go. We're gonna go to Afram.
I'm gonna have
Afram,
Tina
let's diagnose primetime not like an animals.
First of all, let me do a Tyrone. This is Kevin. Finish this. 2022
year of the Jets.
Was
All
all this
day, every
negativity still coming on? Oh my God!
It's
First
not
of
me.
all, we got a tight end. Lawrence Cage is going to be a tight end. He's our man. He's
Lawrence
signed.
Cage is gonna be our tight end.
Yeah, he signed with the Jets,
Oh
a future contract. He's switching to tight
Him-
end. That's the man.
Him and
6'5".
Kenny Yeboah.
But Kenny Yeboah, they're going to destroy the
I'm not high enough for
defenses
this.
left and right.
I like Cager as a receiver. I mean, I'm curious to see what he'll do at tight
Hey,
end. I just don't think he's
yeah,
gonna be a
he
starter.
figures he's not going to make it as a receiver. So put on a few pounds and see what he can do. That's it. No more excuses. Very good, Lauren. What's good happen? Look at that. All good, Vinny. I got to support
celebrity.
I got to support every, and I'm supporting Vinny. You got to support our family over here. They're
Of course,
good people.
Except Panda.
Panda disappeared.
We had a couple of them that kind of left us.
I wonder Panda and Jake, and who was the other one that left us? And
we've had a couple
have their own channel. But
it happens, I guess.
Tough.
So, Afram, what is your take on free agency, man? Are there any players that are must-haves for you? Like, is there a position that you want to spend big money on?
Well, I still think, for me, the tight end, if we could get him for like 12 and a half, something in that range, I would do a 3-year contract with him as well, with the third year getting out. He's doing it with everybody. So, and they're signing it. So it works both ways because they can either play good for those first 2 years, and then they can go for their third. If the Jets want to release them, they can go for a bigger contract with someone else. But at least they're making some money.
Is that a position that you would overpay? Like we talked about the Jets tax. Would you pay the Jets tax for a tight end?
Me, and I'm at the stage where you see what Douglas is doing. Even if I say yes, it's not going to happen. He has a number, and he's going to stick to that number. He did it with Thuney. Everyone thought, yeah, let's sign him. He had a number. It exceeded, and he moved on.
Yeah, but when does he change that philosophy, though? I mean,
I don't know if he does.
Might not.
Remember, he consistently says, "I want to build through the draft." So he fine tunes with the free agency, whatever he can, fill the spots temporarily as he goes.
But does he have the wherewithal to last that long by taking that approach? That's like you can build through the draft, but I mean, it takes your draft class each player 2 to 3 years to develop. In the meantime, you need to win games too, though.
No, I hear you, but I think he's in a good position with the ownership that he's gonna allow him to build the team the way he wants to, and this year he has 9 picks. I think he's going to have to make some moves with free agency. I don't know if he's going to go exorbitant because the following year, unless he's going to trade down and gain picks for next year, he's only going to have his 7 picks, like regular year. So this year, from what I'm seeing, the talent is very good. It's not exceptional like last year, but you can have a solid team with very good players. As long as they learn the system, and you saw how with LaFleur guys were plugged in and they did well, even Berrios, and Berrios. Everyone wants to sign Berrios, but like you said, if you want to go for wide receiver, you want to get a number 1, well then he's on the field, Davis is on the field, Elijah Moore is on the field, and your tight end's going to be on the field. So where does Berrios come in? And you're going to pay a guy $8 million. Sorry, Jomo, but you're not going to pay a guy $8 million a year to sit on the bench. Okay, this is a business. Every single player knows it. Loyalty goes both ways. You can have depth, but not $8 million a year depth.
Yeah.
He's not just that, but special teams too. I mean, not that I would pay $8 million just
Oh.
solely for a kick returner, but if he could be
You
a
could draft
part of
guys
your
that can kick
offense,
return.
if somebody
You
gets
could
hurt,
draft-
you can rely on him to fill in. It's not like you can't have 4 receiver sets also. I mean, it's not like you wouldn't see the field at all.
Yeah, but not at $8 million a year. He's not going to get, to me,
probably
5.5. He's going to get.
Yep.
That's how I see it.
Yep, me
And
too.
and he'll let him walk. He couldn't care less. He's making trades with the Patriots anyway when he wants to. When he does what he wants to get the best player he needs for the team. So if he goes to New England, let him go to New England. We can't stop that.
I think he
He's
might be
gonna
willing
set
to
his
I think
price.
he might be willing to overpay just a little bit, just because he was one of those guys that
I
he
don't know.
handpicked from waivers, like him,
I-
Franklin
I
Myers. He
really-
overpaid a little bit on. He picked him out.
He paid
as a
Franklin
waiver
Myers,
claim.
from what I understand, is because he doesn't. He figures he's going to go out and get more money than that on free agency, and I think I think his spot is he played out of position when Lawson came out. I think he's more of an inside guy than he is as a rusher. When he's inside, I think he's a much better player, and it makes Quinnen a better player. You have the edge rusher, and that one injury really screwed them. Plus, losing the other guys behind them screwed them.
Yeah.
Marcus Joyner.
Yep.
We lost everybody. Let's be honest. We were dropping like flies. There's nothing, guys. I don't think we have the guys that could compensate for all those losses. It's reality, but.
There was just too much youth last year, not enough experience.
Yeah, but now they do have experience, so it's get a little better now.
Wait, hold on. Where was all the youth at? Yeah, John Franklin Myers, Quinnen Williams, Sheldon Rankins, Scott Acosta.
He's in the secondary.
He's talking
both
secondary.
Both safeties went down. Pretty much every corner was a first year or second year player.
Yeah.
Front seven,
The problem with the
Plenty of
defense was
money,
the front
plenty of
seven not doing
experience
it. They had the most experience there.
Yeah, no, grant you, but I think they just didn't have. They just were playing out of position. Now with Lawson back, hopefully, no issue. You don't have to get, if you don't get a Thibodeau, you can get the guy further down because he'll benefit from Lawson being on the other side.
Yeah.
Just like Hutchinson benefit from Ojobo and vice versa being on the other side. So who do you block? So so there's a lot of guys there. They do need. I do believe they need a number one.
Just a question though. Going back to the pass rushers though, I kind of think just based on the money's already allocated to the defensive line, to go out and spend big money in free agency on a pass rusher doesn't make any sense to me. Like I don't think you can.
Yeah.
You got to
spend it on.
But that's what I'm saying. Like even if you chase anybody, like to go out that route, like you draft somebody, it's much cheaper, younger, and you hope you hit. You have Bryce Huff coming back. Hope these guys all pan out.
And it's a rotation, so you're going to pay a guy big money to go.
Saying they don't play.
Be on the field for 60% of the snaps anyway.
Yeah, so why are you paying the guy? So at fourth, if Hamilton's out there, I would shake it up and see who's interested and maybe trade down because you need to fill a lot of holes. I love Linderbaum. Did you see that clip of him wrestling Wirfs in college and he slammed him to the ground?
Yep.
Slammed him.
Yep.
The problem is you have to look at now you have Giants' new GM and he's got to fix that front line of his own. And I think he may make a splash. And with those 2 upper picks, he may go on offensive line. He may take the center. It's you have to look at that. I don't know if he will, but I'm thinking he'll take one of the offensive tackles. That's for sure. Because Solder is old.
Yeah, he's cooked.
Yeah. So
I still can't see going center at pick 4.
No, I'm not saying to go pick 4. I'm just anything past 10 I'll trade down. But I wouldn't be surprised if he's taken after 4 by another team.
That's fair.
So you see, do we get Neal? Do we solidify with Becton on one side and this guy and Neal on the other side, 2 towers, and then maybe down, maybe bring further down, get that kid Lindstrom as your center and move McGovern to guard, and now you have a really solid line. As far as LDT, the issue with him is in Canada. I think he has to complete a residency ASAP of some sort. I think I read that someplace. He has a time limit, so he may have to go back.
Is it this year?
I'm not sure. I'm trying to get further information. I'm trying to
Come
find.
on, man. You're our cap guy. You're our contract guy. You need to know this stuff.
That's a contract guy, but this
What
is
are we
something
paying for?
You got to get some sources.
I don't have any sources. You guys are the only source I know.
Do like everybody else to just make shit up.
No, because then it gets blown out of proportion. But
Just waiting for his first tweet. According to sources.
Just my sources.
Yeah. And there's, everyone's got these sources that Jets are going to do this. No one knows what the Jets are going to do. We don't know. We're just guessing because he can pull a bunch of things. You never know who he may surprise us and grab somebody.
I don't even think Joe Douglas knows right now exactly which direction he's going to go in. And I'm not even saying that to be an asshole. I just you don't know who's going to want to come here, who you could actually get, what price they're going to come at, who's going to be there in the draft.
He's going to look at the
like
Senior
a lot of
Bowl.
the shit we don't know yet.
And
he's going to look at the Senior Bowl. First of all, he's going to check those guys out. Okay, then he's going to wait and see which some of these guys in the combine get moved up and see what teams are more interested. So where he can see if these, if this team wants this guy, maybe I can push down, grab an extra pick, and then still get my guy. And it's a very complicated thing for these guys, but it's a tough job at that point. The free agency, we'll see how many guys are going to be free agents that are not get tagged. So we can talk all we want. We don't know yet until what is it? March. I forget what the date was. 13th or 16th.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, in there somewhere.
Yeah. So we don't know who's going to get tagged, and it's not going to grab anyone right away either, unless he really, really wants that guy. So
that's what happened last year. Remember last year, first couple of days, everybody's panicking. Joe Douglas is sleeping at the wheel. He's not doing shit. Yeah. Then he came out with Lawson and Corey Davis. So
and no one knew that. No one expected that. So we don't know. But I mean, I'm optimistic. I think he knows what he's doing. I think he has his plan. I think Saleh has his plan. We know LaFleur has his plan, and they're going to stick to that plan. Everyone wants to get rid of Ulbrich, but guys, listen. Ulbrich is doing Saleh's defense. He's running what Saleh wants. Okay, you're not going to get rid of a guy because it didn't pan out. He's doing with what he's got, and he's trying to implement a defense. These guys are learning this defense, and eventually, when they get guys in place, or just like LaFleur's offense flourished faster than the defense.
Yep.
But it's he has a plan. It's correct. He does have a plan. And you have to have a plan. You can't just walk in here and be.
Afram, what you got to do? You have to do, Afram. You just got to trust the process, man.
LJTR process, LTRJ, whatever it is.
Thank you for calling it, man. We appreciate it.
2022. Say it, both of
Year
you.
of the
You're
Jets.
the Jets.
You got it. Stay positive.
Have a good night.
That should be our next shirt.
It is.
Jets,
Absolutely. All right. I forgot. I had the list of who called in first. We'll go to Liam, though. He's at work. What's up, man?
What's up, guys?
How you doing?
Man?
Good, man. How are you? Busy at work. Another day in paradise.
Beard game looking strong, man.
Yeah, I actually just trimmed it down a little bit yesterday, because I do work outside during the day, so I like to keep it kind of warm. During the summer, I'll chop it all off.
Good beard will keep you warm in the winter.
Yeah, well, I must say the same for you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I just trimmed it also.
Yeah,
good beard talk.
I don't have much time today, but I do have two quick questions for you guys. So I personally don't see the Jets re-signing Berrios, just like you guys just said a couple minutes ago with Moore and everything. What do you guys think his trade value would be?
He's a free agent.
Berrios? He's a free agent.
Can't trade him.
Yeah, that's true. You can't trade him. But do you think that the Jets would re-sign him? And what do you think his value would be? Is what I meant to say.
As a free agent?
Like $5.5 million a year, $6 million a year.
I think you might get a little more than that on the open market if you have multiple teams.
Well, my value, my chart and your chart's different.
Yeah,
I think you could probably get like $7 million.
Yeah, depending on the right guy, whoever needs a receiver, I guess, and a good special teams guy. And then, do you guys think that the Jets are a more now that we're 1 year in with Wilson? Do you guys think that the Jets are a more desirable spot for free agents and everything than we were last year?
Not yet. Not there yet.
I think we were last year then.
Nope.
Last year was more desirable.
I
than this year?
think no. I'll say, listen. I think it's a little more desirable because I think Salah's got some credibility now, where the word's gonna be out of what kind of coach he is. He's a player's coach, all this. But the fact remains, the Jets didn't win jack shit last year, and Zach Wilson's got a lot to prove.
But what kind of coach is he?
You can see he's an animated, fiery guy, like a player's coach. He never rips the players in the media. He always supports his guys. Like that, he got that label now, where he's definitely a player's coach.
I'm just thinking of that Eagles game where all the players were laughing at him and like all the antics on the sideline.
I mean,
He might be respected within the Jets locker room, but how quickly does that word travel to other players? Like is CJ Mosley advocating for him, calling up other guys?
I don't know.
The perception of him in the Jets right now outside of the organization, I still don't know exactly what that is.
Well, the whole thing is because they don't know what you have in your quarterback. They're still a rebuilding team that won 4 games this year. That's
yep.
If you want to win, you're not coming here.
I work with a Jacksonville Jaguars fan, and they just actually signed a coach today. I asked him, I said, hypothetically, would you want Salah as a coach? He said no. So,
I mean, right now we have to embrace him. I think it's kind of weird because you see D'Amico Ryans coaching that 49ers defense, and they're still playing pretty good football. But I mean, listen, he's our coach, and we got to support him. He did some good things. I think if we're being fair, he progressed throughout the season. He got better as the season played out. Time management, game management, held guys accountable. He benched some players. He's learning, dude, with a very young staff. So
he's likable. He's respected. He's likable. He's respected. I just don't know what player is taking less money to come here, or even taking more money as opposed to going to a winning situation right now. I think we're still at least a year away from that.
Yep.
I think in the draft we need to take a receiver though, because I think Cole's on a 1-year deal. Crowder's probably not going to be back next year.
Yep.
I could see them getting rid of Denzel Mims actually.
Yep.
So we're actually going to be kind of spreading ourselves a little bit thin this year.
Yeah, no, they got a lot of moves to be made, man. That's for sure.
If we do go wide receiver, I guess I'm going Wilson. He'd be my favorite so far.
A lot of people seem to like him. Pick 10, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So, all right, guys, I am a little bit busy tonight. I had to call in and say hello.
Have a good night, man. Enjoy your work.
Thanks for making time for us, man. Have a good night.
No, thank you.
Bye-bye. It still cracks me up. I see him in the background at work. It's funny as shit.
That's funny though. Like the Niners defense, they lose Salah. Offense loses LaFleur. Like they're still rolling right now. The Bengals replaced Lawson with Hendrickson.
Trey
He's
Hendrickson.
fucking light. Yeah, he's lighting it up there. I'm like, geez, Corey Davis.
But after my point was the 49ers they're all playing together, but now D'Amico Ryans hasn't playing at a high level. Now he's a head coach candidate. It's like they're just cranking out coaches at that 49ers staff.
So is it the players or was it the coach?
Well, we'll find out with the Jets soon. We saw the defense last year wasn't impressive. We're going to go to Joe. What's up, Joe?
What's up, boys? So,
What's going on, Joe?
Not much. I've been watching the show for a while, but I haven't really made the time to hop on, but finally got on. Anyways, I think the biggest thing we need to fix is the defense. I think, everyone says we got to get help for Zach Wilson, but the defense helps Zach Wilson. When you need to give your young quarterback the ball as many times as possible throughout the game. And when your defense is getting thrashed for 80 yards, 9-minute drives where he doesn't get the ball for almost an entire quarter, that kills him. And also, he can't be afraid to make a mistake. He knew last year if he threw a pick and he gave them the ball in the 40 or 50, it's over. It's a touchdown. You're not getting the ball back for 5 minutes and you're going to be down another 7 points after it. So he can't be afraid to do that. And I think we got to invest in the defense to help him. And I don't think the offense is as far away as everyone thinks. When the quarterback did their job last year, when the quarterback played well, the offense played well. We need a wide receiver 1. We need 2 tight ends. We need a guard. And past that, we're fine. If we bring back Moses, I think we're fine. And a wide receiver 1 is in a throwaway position. There's a difference between bringing in a lot of pieces and bringing in big pieces. I think we need to bring in a big piece at receiver, a big piece at tight end, and then shore up.
Who? Give me who would you want at wide receiver?
I would say if you can trade for Cooper, I think that's a little bit of a shot in the dark. We're not getting Devontae Adams. That's not happening. No, he does not want to come here. Throw a bag at him. Everyone's going to throw a bag at him. That's not. It's not.
What would you offer? What do you want to give for Cooper?
I would say a second and a fourth. He's 28. He has a ton of money. The Cowboys need money. Yep. I would go for Ridley. Obviously, it's a little concerning with that, but again, with all his stuff. But I think we'll get him for cheaper for that reason. I think he likes football. Everyone goes through stuff sometimes. He's dealing with his own thing. You can confirm he's going to stay. Try to bring him in. And otherwise, you can go with the receiver at 10 or the top of the second. Like, look at the receivers in the second round last year. Like A.J. Brown, Devontae Adams was a second round, or Elijah Moore's been really good for us. T. Higgins was a second round. You can get a great receiver in the second round, no problem.
So what do you like at tight end then?
At tight end, I think we need to draft one and we need to sign one. We need 2, 100%. If I know he was joking, but if like Akram said, if we go into the year with your Boa and Cager, I'm gonna become a New Jersey Generals fan. Like I'm not gonna do anything.
Come on, man. You gotta be one anyway. I'm not kidding.
No way. And I think we're all like so fixated on Schultz. I don't think we need to spend $12 million on a tight end. It's such a deep class. Like there's Gerald Everett, Austin Hooper might get cut, and Njoku. There's so many good players at tight end. Like,
Conklin.
Conklin's a great player too. Like, yeah, I think we can find one pretty easily. Gesicki's out there. I think we can get one without spending the most money on the best guy. I think you need to like invest in the defense. Like as much as you can, you get Zach Wilson a few premier players and shore up the O-line, and I think you're fine. I think the O-line also, if you watch the 49ers, everyone keeps talking about the 49ers, watch Trent Williams play. That's the vision for Mekhi Becton. Obviously he's hurt, but that's what we want him to eventually be. He has the talent to be that. He wasn't playing last year. Like people forget.
Trent Williams can move, man. Damn, he can move.
You know, yeah. And Mekhi Becton's
31
like,
still.
6'8", runs a 5'1", you know, like he's an extremely athletic player. And like people act like he was a bum his rookie year. Like, nah, he was a great player. He was one of our best players as a rookie. He got hurt. It was unfortunate. Obviously it was the work ethic stuff, but
do you think he's gonna play left tackle or right tackle?
I personally would say, I mean, looking at the offense, I think they want to put him at left tackle because it seems like scheme-wise, they want to run behind him and Vera Tucker. They want to do what the 49ers do, put him in the mold of Trent Williams, run the shit out of the ball on the left side and just kill teams. But I think you can make the argument, throw him at right tackle because Fant's clearly more comfortable at left tackle.
Yep.
You bring back Moses, and then Moses is a backup, and odds are he's not going to have to play left tackle. Like, Fant should be fine unless something freak happens. And then you have clear insurance. Like, it doesn't get all messy where you have to move Fant over or, you know, Becton gets hurt. You know, it turns into a whole mess when that happens.
That's excellent call, man. Prime time.
I was saying you brought up some great points on the defense that I don't think a lot of people are talking about. Like I remember the one game where Zach Wilson just lit it up for the first like 17, 18 minutes. I forget who they were playing. He had like 120 yards.
The Eagles
and then he had 2 possessions, I think, for like the next hour and a half of like actual
he doesn't
real
get
time.
the ball back.
Yeah, there's like 2 3 and outs, and the defense was on the field for like 2 straight drives, 9 minutes each. So like when the kid's sitting for over an hour, like what can we really expect of him? So I think everyone's talking about he needs more talent. He needs more talent, which is true. But if you up the defense and you can give him the ball a couple more times, that could help too.
Give him a chance to throw for yards and touchdowns. You have 6 drives in a game and you throw 2 touchdowns. Like everyone's like, oh, his best games threw 2 touchdowns, 250 yards. He barely had the ball. Like you expect he's going to go 3 and out. He's a rookie quarterback on a bad team. It's going to happen. You got to give him a chance. And I think with the defense, I think safety is a bigger issue than people think. I just think Saul was afraid to play as aggressive as he wanted to because he didn't want to expose the safeties. Your safeties are supposed to protect your defense, and we were protecting our safeties last year. I think that messes up everything. It makes it a lot harder to run.
Yeah, that and having no pass rush either.
Exactly. Well, I think the D line gets a little overhyped. Like Rankin's going to be gone. It's $9 million if we cut him, and I think it's really just Quinnen Williams and JFM. Lawson didn't play. I think we need probably 2 edges just to be sure because. Also, an Achilles injury, like you never know with an Achilles. It's the toughest injury to come back from.
You don't trust Bryce to be like one of those people, like a situational pass rusher?
Yeah, I mean, I would probably try to bring in like an established veteran, and then if you get Thibodeau, that's awesome. Veteran becomes a situational guy. They rotate anyways. If you don't pick up 2 in the 3rd and 4th, and you bring back Huff, and then you have like competition there, and you try to find something.
Joe, thanks for calling, man. That was awesome. Great call.
Excellent call.
All right,
excellent call, man.
All right, keep it up.
Thank you. Dude, he was great. Holy shit.
That was awesome. They always come in good first time.
That's right.
First calls are usually good.
All right, we're gonna go to Jets Unleashed.
How you guys doing tonight?
How you doing, man?
Hey, what's up, man?
It's the off season, you know. Jets' our favorite time of the year where we get to plan out and hope for our future going forward. You know,
we always win the off season, man. Don't ever forget that.
Every year.
Yeah. Every year. Something that a lot of people I've seen so far talk about is the pass rusher. We if you don't expect to get a good pass rusher in the beginning of the first round, maybe try to get a veteran, like the last guy said, and just try to get a guy who's a limited, since our coaches like to play our players on account. Get somebody who knows who's good at being limited.
Well, no,
almost like
you know
almost
the
like what they thought Vinny Curry was going to be this past year.
thing, like you
Somebody
have
like
guys
that.
from the Eagles have a couple guys that are going to be free agents. I think it was like Derek Barnett and a couple other guys there too. I think you're right. And see if any 49er guys shake free, where it's like you may not get the $15 million a year guy, maybe get some like $3 or $4 million a year guys that can sneak in there and say, listen, you're only playing 60% of the snaps anyway. Just give us your best 60 or something like that.
Exactly, and then for the draft, I know primetime you don't want to go center at 4, but I don't trust McGovern. I think he's gonna be out next year, so I would try to draft his replacement, and try to get the best center out there in the draft.
I pick 4 though.
If you think to be honest, I've seen the number 1 center out there. I like him. I very much like him.
Yeah,
I
but
love him too. I just think he's going to be there at 10.
Yeah, it's a fine line, man, of saying it's like what ranks higher. Like all those tackles are probably going to go. Like I think the tackle's going to go ahead of him. Like I don't think I think 4's too high, man.
And if I remember right, like a lot of the talk in the offseason about LaFleur and his offense and what they did in San Francisco is that the interior guys, you can kind of afford to have players that aren't great there. You mainly need like the 2 dominant tackles.
Yep.
True. Especially
it even seemed like with LDT. I mean, he's nothing great at guard. He's a solid player. McGovern too. Like he's nothing special, but he's a good solid player. And when everybody was healthy, like towards the second half of the year, like that run game was picking up. I know there were still some hiccups in pass protection, but they were running the ball pretty well in the second half of the year. So I don't know.
Yeah. For a big number 1 receiver, I think this year we won't be able to get one. It will have to be next year, where this team have shown something, or our QB has shown that he can get it done, and then we could probably do a trade. But at this point, I don't think no number 1 receiver wants to come here. There's a
wait. So no number 1 meaning like who? So obviously Devontae Adams is out. I mean, there's a lot of other guys out there, though. I mean, Allen Robinson's still a pretty good player. You have what? I have a list somewhere around here. But you have Godwin. You have Mike Williams. There's the other guys out there, man. And you can still draft a guy high too.
Well, yeah, drafting high guy would be good, but we will know if he's going to be that number 1, like a Jamar Chase,
Oh, Jamar Chase. Yeah, well, shit. And it's funny because the Bengals got ripped for drafting him, didn't they? They're like, oh, you should take Penny Sewell.
Yep.
Didn't work out for him.
He's great now, man.
But you can even go even like a guy like, would you want a guy like Juju Smith-Schuster?
To be honest, I weigh him as as not a number 1 receiver. I weigh him as a number 2 receiver, a high number 2 receiver. So I would take him because of he can do really well those 50-50 balls, but like the one true number 1 receiver where you can you can throw up to him and know you can get to him. I don't think we'll be able to get that kind of receiver this year, just
That's
because.
Allen Robinson, man. That's Allen Robinson. Allen Robinson can do that shit. He's only 28 years old. I'm a fan of him, dude. I'm gonna go down to Allen Robinson Hill every day, every year. I'm gonna go down.
I wanted him last year. I wanted him last year.
Same. My dad is a Bears fan, and he wants him out. So I don't want them to keep him, and I would love to have him, man. Just something like the Bills have. They traded for a receiver. Just us to get that would be incredible for us.
Yeah, no, that's true. Excellent call, man. Thanks for calling. We appreciate it.
Thanks, you guys. Have a wonderful night.
Have a good night, man.
Great.
Be good.
Calls are cranking in here. So now we have a choice, Primetime. We have our music director who hasn't called in about 6 months, probably doing his baseball podcast, and they're on a lockout. Or you have Rutgers. Your choice.
Let's start with Elias, just because I want to get his take on.
I don't want to.
Just because I want to get. I wanted to get his take on the Hall of Fame vote today.
What's up, Javid? Is he sleeping?
He's
muted.
muted.
Paying attention.
Oh, my bad.
You weren't even paying attention.
I was. I'm sorry, something happened. That's my bad.
George Kittle highlights.
How you guys
What's going on,
doing?
man? How you doing?
I'm good. Just finished a day of classes. Chilling, relaxing now. Gonna see the
Good.
show.
There
I'll
you go.
talk.
There
Everyone
you
talking
go.
Jets.
We haven't argued
So-
in a while, have we?
No, we might argue today.
Uh-oh. Me and you, or you in prime time?
Me and everybody.
Oh,
Ooh,
man.
you just
he's
in one of
coming
those moods today?
Yeah, maybe. I'm interested in talking about a prospect that people probably don't want to hear about. But
DK Metcalf.
no.
Oh, okay.
But I was saying, for me, I really do want to fix the defense. I think that's got to be a big key. I was one of the people this season who's always talking about.
Don't get distracted by the comments.
Yeah, it's. I was always talking about. I don't blame Ulbrich that much. I think the players weren't that great. We talked about that earlier in the season. We talked about how it's hard to implement a defense, especially when everyone you wanted to implement the defense around freaking get injured, and then you have to rely on people who you wanted to learn on the job. I mean, who you want to learn behind now actually have to learn on the job and be playing, and it was really rough for them. So I think the defense, it's an interesting thing to me because we talk about edges. I think it's very unlikely that one of the two guys drop, Hutchinson or Thibodeau. And so part of me wants to address it in free agency, but say you do address it and then one of those guys drop, you're like, well,
So it's a good problem to have, man.
You still take him.
It's a great problem to have, but you
still
do
too many
it.
pass rushers, man. Shit.
I mean, that depends on how much you spend. I think
You can just release Lawson next year.
Yep, it's true.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, true. But I think they're not going to do that. I think Lawson's going to be a success. One guy, I think a sleeper in edge free agency, with Flores out, who knows what happens in Miami. I think Emmanuel Ogba, he could be a potential. He's only 28, had 9 sacks the last 2 years. He had a lot of pressures, and we know they love that because that's why we give Lawson that contract.
Yep.
So, he could be a guy
We love
potentially
pressure.
get.
We don't like sacks. We love pressure, though.
At least this guy had 9 the last 2 years. Is that more than Lawson had, or no?
Wait, combined, he had 9.
No, 9 the last 2 seasons both.
Oh,
like
9
and 9.
For that. I'd sign up for that. Yeah, it's more than Lawson ever had. I think his career high was
Yeah.
like 8.5 or 7.5.
So Ogba's gonna be a free agent if Miami doesn't re-sign him. Flores gone. Who knows? I bring him back. I'll tune over Kittle. That's funny.
Poor sneakers to boots, just taking beatings. He's not even here. He's taking a beating.
I mean, at some point he'll just get used to it. I mean, with the Kittle stuff, it just happens.
Well, since you're an expert on that position, what should we focus on our team for the tight end position?
See, that's something.
even Sam's coming after you now.
Well, Sam is always coming after me. Literally, Sam is always coming after me. That's something I still, me personally, I'm kind of undecided on. I like Schultz a lot, but I could see and I think if you want to go after him, then I think that's just the guy you stick with because he's proven he's good enough to just be your starting tight end guy. But if you want, you could go the route of bringing in a guy who's not that big, like one of the other, like you mentioned Conklin, you mentioned some of the other guys in free agency who aren't like top tight ends, but they're solid guys. And then looking to draft someone in later rounds, like I know that kid Ruckert, his dad, he's a Jets fan, I guess. His dad has been lobbying him to the Jets for weeks now, and he's probably gonna keep doing that for months. I really do like Ruckert though. He has good hands. I like him. So I think it really just depends on you like. I like McBride a lot. If they wanted to go second round on McBride, I wouldn't be angry with it.
Would you double up and go after a Schultz or a Gesicki or somebody like that, and then draft McBride too?
No, I think we have a lot of needs.
No,
I mean it's not that I don't want him. I just think if you're gonna get a Schultz or Gesicki, I mean that should take care of your main tight end option in the pass game. Like obviously you want to have multiple tight ends, but if you're looking in the second round, I think we definitely could find more value with all the holes than drafting another tight end. I don't know, maybe depending on. Sorry,
I was gonna say if you want your offense to be like run first and kind of work the pass off of that, especially with a young quarterback, I'd be all about having 2 tight ends on the field all the time. I think they probably wanted to do that more this year. It's just you had Griffin, Croft, like those guys aren't really striking fear in anybody. But if you have 2 legitimate tight ends that you can keep on the field, that are versatile, that can block, that can actually catch the ball, like that'd be a great problem to have. They had 2.
Yeah, I wouldn't be sitting here like crying to myself like, oh my God, we drafted McBride in the second round after getting a tight end. I just think, if you're looking at it, if you want to take one of the wide receivers, If you want to look at, a defensive guy, whether you want to add to the line, if you want to add, I don't know, John's aggressive podcast. I mean, Kilo played pretty well this weekend outside of that one drop. So I would not trade for DK. I'm not a. I mean, I made it clear where I stood on DK last year. I don't dislike DK. I don't hate him. I just said that
You
DK.
just finally dislike him.
No, I think he's a good player. He just needs to work on his route running because he's more of a guy who he's big and strong, and Russell Wilson finds him deep, so that's all he does. And there are times where you look at his game. If he played with a good quarterback, these times you look at his game and you're like, this guy could really DK has the potential to be like the best receiver in the NFL, and his route running is poor. It's so poor. It's a fact where you look at the routes he runs. Obviously, same thing I did with Kittle before, but I went through all his catches. A lot of his catches are on the same kind of plays. You just look at a deep play or a quick.
So you have time to study DK Metcalf's routes. You don't kind of call into our show.
But first of all, this is last summer when I called in and I said that I thought DK was slightly overrated because I said guys like AJ Brown were on his level, and you killed me for it. So that's when I went back and watched all his stuff.
So would you trade for a Ridley or a DJ Moore?
I love DJ Moore. He was also in my Metcalf take. I love DJ Moore a lot. I think he fits the offense really well. He does a lot. He's a guy you can use in gadget plays. He's a guy who's a possession receiver. He'll consistently get open. They'll have big plays open. He'll be able to make things out of smaller plays, yards at the catch. I like Ridley too.
What would you trade for him though? What would you offer?
That's rough. I don't know. I'm still, my research is not outdated. I've watched Metcalf this year.
You're one of the few callers that everybody has comments about.
I swear, everyone loves me. And then after that Kittle take, I've literally just been never as popular as I used to be. I was beloved on this channel.
It's a tough crowd, man.
Yeah. I think if we want to give a second, and maybe a conditional, or if they really were talking about the blueprint for the trade, what's it called with the Diggs trade?
The coach is taking shots at you.
I can't avoid it. Whether you want to, even if you really wanted him, and they thought this is the guy that they really liked, taking a first and then getting and putting a conditional second with it, I wouldn't be overwhelmingly happy with it. But I called in 2 weeks ago. I think it was 2 weeks ago, right? Something like that. My bad. I'll be around more often,
He's in school. I get it.
I think
he's scheming players open in his dreams.
Yeah, so here is where I think people are not going to be that happy. So you remember about over a year ago when Tim called in and he made his little take where he started talking about he thinks that something about all the best teams have in common. And do you remember what those were?
I don't.
And it blew up. He said every great team, and he started naming them. They all have good punters and kickers.
I do remember that.
At the time, we all made fun of him. I mean, obviously it was funny at the time because we were all talking about quarterback and what we need to fix the team and Darnold for this, that. And he was talking about, let's talk kickers.
Don't start making a case for a kicker and a punter now.
I'm going to make a case for a kicker, man. Look, it's one guy.
What round?
What?
A free agent or a draft?
I would draft him. I would say probably a later round. Cade York. LSU. I really love the kid. Even back then, during that conversation, I was like, the only kicker I would draft is Cade York. He's a junior this year. He entered the draft. He's I think the only kicker in college football to have made multiple 50-plus yarders in the and then he has some of them
kickers
in the closing end of the game. It's a draft. It's draft. I really like the kicker. I just want to talk about it. Cade York. He's
how dare you insult our current kicker? Was but money since he came here.
I mean, special teams.
You don't really trust Pinheiro.
Look what the Niners did. Special teams, blocked field goal.
Pinheiro hasn't missed yet.
I mean, he hasn't missed, but kid made a 57-yarder in the fog. I remember that. If you look up the game where he played against Florida, LSU versus Florida against McPherson, the kicker from the Bengals, outkicked him in that game. Hit a 57-yarder in the fog. I really like him. He's kicked over 90%.
So what round do you want to take him in?
Say what round?
Later round, like 6th, 7th, if he's there.
We don't have a 6th or 7th round pick.
Oh shit. Well, we're probably gonna trade back and maybe get one. I expect us to trade back and pick one up. No, I'm just saying. Look,
would you consider taking him in round 5? Is he that good?
I think he's that good. I mean, for me, he hasn't missed an extra point. You know, our kickers struggle with those. You know,
it's just this show. Just
you know, like
it's better than Mike Nugent in round 2.
Cade York in the 5th. If I think Cade York is going to be a very good kicker. That's just my. He's one guy like in the draft where I really would take. Like I really love that kid. Like honestly,
you know what? I like this because it's an original take. It takes.
It is very original.
And talk about a kicker that in the draft. I like that.
And while the chat's hating on you, now we're all gonna remember this. And now even the coach, the coach is intrigued. That's important, man.
Look him up. I'm telling you, man. Half these college kickers can't make 30 yarders. My guy is drilling 57 yarders. Hey,
if our kickers can't make 30 yarders. Jonathan, good talking with you, man. It's good seeing you, man.
A punter. We can't even. Literally, the highlight of our games is punters. Can you
really talking to you, man?
Thank you for calling, guys. Have a good night, man.
Have a good night.
Good night.
He easily is the one that gets the most criticism in the chat when he comes on. Yep. It's not even close, man. I mean, Vincent makes everybody laugh. Steve, everybody goes crazy with, but Javid gets the most. There's so much animosity when he comes on. So now prime time. We had a music director that used to come on our show all the time. Then he came up with this bullshit. He did this baseball podcast, but it's been a lockout. So now he's gonna probably blame it on school, is my guess.
I think he's also got to re-record his intro for us. Like he sounds like a kid. Like he's probably like an adult now. The last time we talked
probably.
to him.
All right, let's talk Barry Bonds.
How's it going, guys? How you doing?
See, his voice got deeper. See,
you did.
Doing just busy watching some Cade York highlights. Got to look into him.
How's he look?
Kickers. No, I haven't started yet. I'm just joking around. But I mean, he might be good. You never know. No, man, I got work till 9 usually on Tuesdays, and when I get back, I sometimes go and I get back too late, so I don't have time to call in. But I'm gonna try to come back more. I miss talking to you guys. Good time.
Don't lie to us, man. We know you don't.
Hey, man.
How's school?
It's happening. I mean, senior year, it's almost over with, and then college next year. I'm excited about. Yeah.
Where are you going to college?
You got school yet?
I got like a top 3. I'm going to music school, but I'll have to audition and stuff for that still. But that should be exciting. I was supposed to go down to New York to audition for one of them, but that got canceled today.
Damn, that's cool. So wait, you're gonna go to music school? That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
man.
like a music conservatory.
That's cool as shit.
Cool.
Thanks, man.
Cool,
yeah.
Man.
So what do you think about the whole baseball Hall of Fame? Because Primetime's dying to ask you.
I was a big proponent of putting Bonds and Clemens in. I know the cheating and whatnot, but you can't have players that good and keep them out. In my opinion, like you got arguably the best hitter of all time. They were great pre-steroids. Everybody at that time was doing steroids. Steroids arguably saved the game. They had with the '94 lockout, people didn't give a shit anymore about baseball and all these home runs and all that shit.
That and if you're gonna put fucking David Ortiz on the first ballot, and then try to deny Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens, 2 of the all-time greats, like that's
I understand keeping them till their 10th year, but you just gotta after these guys, like after the steroid era guys, I understand even A-Rod, I would put in just because again, steroids make you good, steroids don't make you that good. I think people overhype what steroids do. It's more about longevity and stuff like that. I'm pissed off.
And baseball knew they were doing it. Like they made money off it. They literally made millions of dollars off of that.
They didn't test it,
especially the writers.
It was an unwritten rule basically
back then. Now too, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's. Hopefully they get in with the vets committee. I don't know how all that works. I'm pissed. They always have their character clauses, all this shit, all these voters. Just it's a shame, man. I mean. I understand. I'd put Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame too.
Absolutely, absolutely.
He did what he did as a manager, not as a player. So baseball is a joke right now.
And it's not like he was even fixing games either. Like he was betting on games, but he was betting on his team to win. It's not like he was trying to fix it or like change the score or anything like that. Like alter his team. Like he bet on his team to win.
100%. I'm pissed about it. David Ortiz, first ballot Hall of Famer probably, but the same time, Bonds and Clemens, 10th ballot Hall of Famers, yes.
Yeah.
And Billy Wagner, I think, should have gone in. Andrew Jones, probably you had a case for him.
Andrew Jones was awesome for so long, man. He's one of the
best center
fielders.
fielder I ever watched.
The best
Yeah, me too.
defensive
Yep.
center fielder ever. Yeah.
Just crushed the Mets.
You know,
for that
they
series.
try to keep it exclusive. It's not like the NFL where it's like they let a lot of guys in. So I understand that. I'm glad somebody got in this year. I know last year I think nobody got in, which is a joke. But yeah, I'm pretty pissed off about it.
Yeah, it's just so much hypocrisy. So let's talk to me about Jets free agency, man. What's on your radar?
Yeah, so for me, I'm trying to address kind of as many holes as possible. I would try to go after like a big guy, but I'm trying to make it so you're not locked into one position at 4. So let's say none of the good edge rushers are there at 4. Let's say Thibodeau and Hutchinson both go. You're not forced to take like a Karlaftis or Ojabo, I think his name is. A guy I'm looking into, Dante Jackson from the Panthers at corner. He's not going to break the bank, and he's a pretty good player. A guy I'm also interested, Marcus Williams from the Saints. This team needs 2 safeties. Ashton Davis, we should fucking cut him. He's so bad. Dude, I was watching, do you guys know Joe Blewett, Jets X Factor? He does like film stuff. I was watching one of his film shows, and just every play, it's just missed tackle. He's like, I don't know what this guy does.
His angles are just so bad.
He said, I don't know. He can't cover. He can't tackle. All he can do is he's fast. He can do a backflip. That's all he can do. He's terrible. He's literally a track guy playing the wrong sport at this point.
But no, he's a track guy and takes terrible angles and still can't get there. It's like usually like the speed
that
makes up for
Jonathan
the bad
Taylor
angle.
run. Remember that?
Oh,
Oh my
terrible.
God. It's so bad.
Oh, it's
And there's plays he's just staring at the quarterback the whole time, and then just a guy just running wide open behind him. He's bad. Like I understand that safety isn't the most valued position in the world, but we saw how bad our defense is with the awful safety play we had last year. Like I'm not against taking Hamilton at 4. Like, yes, again, I know it's where you have PTSD with Jamal and whatnot, but I've watched him, and if they're saying what they're saying, if it's true, he's this generational player. I mean, if he's the next Ed Reed, does Ed Reed not make an impact worth taking 4th overall? Now, I get that Ed Reed was like a later round pick, and a lot of the top safeties are later round guys.
Yeah,
but
we could have had Ed Reed. We took Brian Thomas.
We could have had a lot of guys that we.
Brian
that
Thomas
we
was a
took
good
over,
Jet,
yeah.
man. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna,
he was.
Well, we did have Ed Reed.
It wasn't Ed Reed.
Later in his
we
career.
had Ed Reed in our
We
team.
did have Ed Reed.
Yeah. When we were
No,
what,
I mean,
1-7?
I understand the whole positional value thing, but like at the same time, you could bring up, well, Quentin Nelson plays guard. Would you take him that high? Yes. Micah Parsons, he can't take a linebacker that hard. He made that high. He made a big impact. So, you know, I understand it. I just think free agency, just try to plug as many holes as possible. Now, if some of these big guys like a Brandon Sheriff shakes free, then I think you go after him. Just get another stud offensive lineman. I could also see Douglas. Say it again.
His injuries don't bother you?
Okay, yeah, you're right. I'm not getting touching anybody with injuries. You know, when they come to the Jets,
that's what worries me about. That's what worries me about him.
Even when they're
But
healthy, they come to the Jets, get hurt.
But the safety position, though, there's a lot of guys out there you can get for like $5, $6, $7 million a year
true.
that are like I like Jordan Whitehead from the Buccaneers. Like there's guys out there, man. That's just
Jabril Peppers. You can get them. For
yeah, those guys.
Price,
if you have the pass rush in front of them, they're serviceable. They can run. They can do things. I don't know, man. I think you can go that route.
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna go. I mean, Hamilton at 4. I mean, I'd be doing cartwheels, but I'm just trying to act
Even
Notre Dame, yeah.
Even who is it? Malik Hooker, right? Like he was pretty healthy this year for the most part. And his biggest concern was just injuries. He had that one dominant year, his rookie year with the Colts, and then he was hurt. I don't know, like 2 of the next 3 years.
Yep.
So
There's a lot of those guys out there.
You could probably sign him relatively cheap.
Yeah, I just think just plug some holes on the defense, get another linebacker in here. Like I Mosley's good. I like Devondre Campbell. I don't think Quincy Williams is a starter. He misses too many tackles.
Yeah.
He's an all or nothing player in my opinion.
Guy.
Yeah, I would keep him around as a depth guy. I think he's a good, culture guy, good special teamer too. You saw him make that big hit against the Colts. But what's interesting is, do you need to invest into 3 linebackers if you're going to run a lot of nickel with Michael Carter II? And like the same thing goes for the offense. Like people are talking about bringing in a number 1 receiver, like breaking the bank on a receiver. Well, then people also want to say, oh, we're going to run a lot of 2 tight end. So how are you going to have all these guys on the field? So, I remember like last year people wanted, never mind. But like this year, like you got 2 tight ends. You got to have all these guys play at some point. I know we joke about, on the defensive side, guys are barely play at all. They're playing with 50% of the snaps and whatnot.
6%.
Hopefully, offense is not the same. Even if you bring back Berrios, he's got to get some reps too. So, for me, like
on offense, though, I wouldn't mind it as much if you have like a certain, like, this is what we like the argument we were making with Denzel Mims. Like, why not have 10 to 15 plays instead of trying to have him learn every single wide receiver position? Why not have 10 or 15 plays that he can master that you can trust him to run on game day? So instead of trying to have 3 receivers that are going to be on the field all the time,
we can't get him to line up correctly. Shit.
Yeah, no, Denzel Mims was that wasn't his only issue. We found out. I think coaches were pretty right with that. Yeah.
But like, having too many guys, I mean, that would be an excellent problem to have. Like,
no, that's not
that's
not a
to be on
problem
the
to
field.
have.
Like that'd be a great problem to have.
Exactly. It's interesting. I think with the tight end, like everyone's saying free agent and draft guy, I wouldn't break the bank on Schultz. Like, if he's going to get 13 million, I think there's some solid guys out there. Like, I like Njoku. He's a decent blocker, good, kind of a high upside, kind of like what we did last year with Davis and Lawson, where it's guys who played well as a first round pick, but not really fully up to expectations, but still have some high upside. So look into him. The dude Conklin, right, from Vikings. I know you like him. And then I drafted a guy like Colorado State guy, Ohio State guy. I don't quite remember.
To me, there's a lot of guys like that are like 25, 26 years old that are a tiered down a little bit, but they're quality players though, man.
Yeah.
If you can pluck a bunch of those guys and draft well, your roster is going to be better, man.
Yeah. And like, again, like it's interesting. I don't always look to free agency to get like my big time building blocks, because a lot of the guys are, older guys. Where the draft, you get the guys who are going to get the second contract, and you never know. Like, it's when people complain about, oh well, we didn't, back in 2019 we signed all these bums, which it's not excusable to sign all these bad guys. People are saying, oh, why didn't we get this guy? Why didn't we get this guy? You don't want to give a B free agent A money. But it looks like there's some good guys coming out this year. With the NFL, it's always interesting about which guys are getting tagged. It's a league where guys get re-signed to their teams a lot, so it's going to be interesting to see who shakes free. But we have a lot of options. I don't think we're as far away as people think. I think look at the Bengals. They had the first overall pick. They're a mess 2 years ago. Pretty decent last year. Their quarterback gets hurt, and then they go crazy this year. And I'm not saying we're going to be the Bengals next year, but I think 8-9 wins isn't, out of the realm of possibility. It's just really how this offseason goes.
I agree. Look at you came back and redeemed yourself. See, now you're welcome back again. Now you're back on our good side.
Appreciate that. I'm going to try to call back in more. I miss talking to you guys.
I know. So now listen, a lot of new music came out lately. The Muse, a lot of good songs came out lately. I mean, you keep a track of like any rock bands?
I'm trying to. I'm trying to think anything recent. I know like well, this was last year. The Spirit Box album I've been digging a lot. I know you said you like them. Yeah. Yep. New rock me. I'm not good. For me, it's like an album comes out, I'll listen to it once and then like rediscover it 5 months later and then get really into it.
Eskimo Callboy, dude. You listen to them?
Who?
Eskimo Callboy.
Let me look that up. I'll check that out. I'll let you know.
And then Shinedown's come out with a song tomorrow. Check them out too.
Are they? Sweet. I saw they have all this
heard of half these
cryptic shit on like Instagram, all this like symbolic shit that I was confused
it's called
about.
Planet Zero. They do all these like
hype up the album.
It's clever, man.
It's marketing. Yeah, no, you're right.
Eskimo Callboy, man. It's wild as shit. You're gonna be like, what the hell is this nonsense?
Yeah, I'll check that out. Yeah.
Good talking to you, man.
Appreciate it, man. See you guys next week.
Have a good night, man. Be good.
Yeah.
You did great.
It's been like a great lineup of calls tonight.
So now the next caller,
I can't imagine who might ruin it.
The next caller, he's the last caller, but he ruined it with our first caller. It's amazing how he did this. So he fucked up the beginning of the show and the end of the show. Now that's something else, isn't it? I'm mad at him now.
And that's why he's going to get destroyed in this rap battle.
Yeah, and then he told a Giants fan to call up here. And the kid was nice, very nice, but it had no Jets take. But he brought nothing to the table for us. And he said, Jose told me to call in. That's what he said. Jose said it.
Hey, guys.
On my shit list, man.
What's up?
Go ahead.
At least he acknowledges it. It was Jose Rodriguez. He put it on his name.
Hey, with you not hold on, Nito, hold on. What do you need? The headphones got on.
Oh, the headphones came down.
Uh-oh.
Hold on.
We got you.
Technical difficulties.
We're not going nowhere. Don't worry.
Hold on. Give me a second.
We got all time in the world, man. Don't worry. We're just going to sit here and make jokes about you. You and your friend that's...
Is that guy? Sorry about that, guys. Didn't.
No problem, man.
Sorry about that, but hey, I got you a subscriber.
Listen, man, don't give us subscribers that are Giants fans.
He came in respectful.
He was cool though. He was cool. I mean, you owe us one after the 150 or so that we got you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
He came in respectful. He knows his team is bad.
He did.
Who knows? Maybe we can turn him. Maybe.
Yeah, we turn you.
So, Jose, did you have a stream? Did you have a stream said positive vibes only?
I did a video called Positive Vibes only. Yes.
Oh, you're bringing positivity to the world. That's good.
Yes.
So what'd you talk about?
Just yeah.
We're only kidding, man. We're busting your balls, dude. We want to harass Jose. That's the whole goal of our fucking goal of this call.
Oh, I actually have something maybe to show you guys if I can get her in here.
Girlfriend?
No.
Sandra?
A dog?
Yeah.
A big fan of dogs here.
Yes,
Penguins?
a dog.
Koalas?
A dog.
Oh, you got a dog?
You got a dog?
Yes.
Did you name it Jamal?
Where's she at?
She is.
Oh, look how cute this dog is. The same hair as Jose.
Oh.
What kind of dog is it?
At least it's got better hair than you, Tyson.
Oh, wow. You
Tyson's
think
got no
it's
hair.
what's your dog's name?
We haven't come up with a name yet.
No name for the dog?
No, we got it Friday and we keep arguing.
He's got no identity. He's got no ID. So when you feed him, what do you call it? Like, yo, come here? What do you say to him?
No.
Your dog.
No, my mom calls it.
It?
No.
Like Jamal, we
My
need more
mom-
dogs. Just call them dogs.
My mom calls her Chiquita, but we
Chiquita?
already have. Yes, but we already have a cat named Chiquita.
You should call your dog Crenshaw.
So he's a female.
Crenshaw.
He's a female. He's a female.
Crunchet.
Anyway, you guys are bombing with these jokes. So, as a matter of fact, let me stick to the jokes. As a matter of fact, Romeo, from now on, Romeo, can you make a warning sign for me that says, let's not justice, does not condone the words of Jose Rodriguez.
Yeah, we need something like that.
Yeah, we got it. Yeah.
Especially after last week.
Last week, you brought the heat. You were just in a rare form last week.
You were scorching everything last week.
I know.
Scorching everything but my ass. Okay.
We're back here again. Jesus Christ. Positive vibes only. We're bringing to this.
The bigger question is, have you been preparing for the rap battle?
Yes, I have.
He's gonna smoke you prime time.
No, he's not.
No,
No, he's not.
you.
Jose is gonna smoke you.
No,
He doesn't even know what I have to say
No.
here. I almost feel bad for what I'm about to do
No.
when we do this.
Now, do you know what song you're going
Yes, I do.
to do?
And I'm going to be honest right now. This is
Can
one
you
of
tell
my.
me-
I'm not going to tell you what it is. It's one of my favorite verses, but I've never been able to successfully rap it before.
You're gonna
That's how difficult it
You're
is.
gonna
I've
do
never
a
been
verse.
able to successfully. Honest to God, I've never been able to successfully rap this verse before.
Well,
And it's my goal to do it for the Super Bowl.
Well. Because I just love. Because I.
Primetime already hates Jose's dog already. You can tell.
Yes. My house has turned into Homeward Bound.
Oh, jeez.
3 dogs and 1 cat. Literally Homeward
that bad.
Bound.
It's not that
fine.
bad.
But anyway, since I love my ex so much, I'm just gonna tell you what Eminem song I'm gonna do. I can't be here. Prime time, finish it.
Which song?
I can't be here. I can't be here, Superman. Can't
Oh,
be
okay.
here, Superman.
That's an easy one.
But hey, I'm still gonna destroy you with it.
I'm going with the hardcore fast shit, so just be ready.
Whatever.
Just
anyway.
be ready. Just be ready.
Anyway,
Hey, Jose,
anyway,
Jose, did you hear Tom McDonald's new song, New World Order?
how is it that I don't get YouTube does not send me
That's good. That's they always pull his content down. That's why he's too controversial. They're always taking his videos down.
Good to know. Now, can I talk about the Baseball Hall of Fame?
Sure.
How the hell does David Ortiz, who got popped for steroids twice, make it first ballot?
Damn. Never said I hated animals. Just don't want to live with animals. You guys suck. Hate all of you.
Yeah, Jose. The Baseball Hall of Fame is horseshit, man. David Ortiz is a fraud just like the rest of them, man. He's just as guilty as the rest of the guys. He was just nicer to the media is all he was.
It's so hypocritical more than anything. You put him in, but not guys that are better than him who did the same thing. Yeah, go ahead.
What name do you like better, Kevin?
Wait, what name do I like better?
Kevin. Kevin.
I don't like where this is going.
Oh shit! Jose's full of jokes lately.
Kevin Baker, or the name I gave you, Kevin Kardashian.
I don't like it. I don't like any of them. I don't like any of them. Prime time. That's it.
Oh, speaking of my guy Scrubs, some people in the chat actually know who he is. Because sometimes he helps call my stream, so people.
No, Scrub was cool. We don't have no problem with Scrub. We're just busting your balls.
I
man.
know.
But now that we know he's a Giant fan, next time he comes on the stream, we have different questions for him. It won't be as not of a pleasant experience.
He'll be ready. He's always honest. Unlike other people who I won't name. But,
who do you have winning the games this weekend?
Oh, there's one thing I wanted to talk to you about.
Okay.
So I had to get a third ticket to get to the Rams game on Sunday because I'll be at that game.
Oh no shit!
Guess how
That's
much
awesome.
Guess how much it cost me?
$300.
$500.
Time you were closer. $700.
Oof.
$700.
Damn.
For one ticket. All the way up in the nosebleed section.
Where you get that kind of money? Where you get that kind of money? Not even your team too. I wouldn't be spending that money if it wasn't the Jets playing. Must be the YouTube channel.
I wish.
Well, you figure it's two teams that are both out there. I guess it's probably that'd be the equivalent of like Giants and Jets, something like that. I guess, right?
Or Jets and Bills.
More like Giants,
Jets and Bills. Yeah, Giants, Bills, something like that. Yeah, that's fair.
Pay that much to see Giants.
I'm trying to give you an out.
I mean, I paid. This is what I paid $400, and that was a few years ago. That's probably right, dude. I mean, it's a championship game, man. It's expensive as shit.
Oh, hey, PT.
Yo,
PT, you and Scrubs actually have something in common. Neither of you.
What's that?
Neither of you have seen any good movies.
I've seen plenty of good movies. What are you talking about?
No, you haven't.
I've seen plenty of
No,
good
you
movies.
haven't. No, you haven't. No, you have not.
So wait, so you're going? Are you going to go to the game on Sunday, Jose?
Yes,
That you said?
Yes, I will be at the game.
You're living a good life, man. Damn.
And I did stream both games on Sunday.
I know you competed against us.
Yeah.
I know.
I'm sorry.
That's why
you're not sorry.
I forgot you were doing it.
Yeah, because we don't,
taking all our viewers away.
That's fine.
No, I did it Saturday, but I thought you were doing it Saturday. So
I'm sitting there streaming like, wait a minute, Jose's going against this. I'm like, he's pulling a panda right now.
You did not think about me.
That's exactly what I did, but we're friends, so I let it slide until this Sunday when you do it again. Then it's all right.
I can't do it again.
Oh, you're gonna be at the game. That's right.
Yes.
You're living the good life.
And now though, people want me to stream the Super Bowl. So here's what I'm thinking. Prime time for the halftime show.
What, are you going to invite me on your stream?
Yes. Yes. What? I said for the halftime. Oh.
This guy.
I said for the halftime show.
Fame. The fame has gone to his head. Primetime. He's become one of them now.
I know.
Yeah.
No,
that's a smart play because he knows I'll be talking about it on our stream, and he's going to bring everybody over there. That's his goal.
No.
Yep.
I see you, Jose.
Yep.
I just don't want to leave my.
He's trying to monetize this. He's going to try to monetize the rap battle to his own stream now.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
How?
Because I'll be talking about it while we're watching.
Legend's going to charge for his appearance.
Guys, I gotta go. I gotta hop on Jose's stream. They'll be like, "Oh, Primetime's going on Jose."
I'm still at 300 subs. I'm nowhere near monetized. I just don't want to have to.
It's not about subscribers. It's about the
just
number.
the
Yeah,
views.
the amount of videos you put out, the number of minutes that are watched. Yeah.
So now he's trying to monopolize this, where it's like, oh, I'll do the rap battle, but on my stream.
No.
Yep.
No. Go back to my.
So what the hell am I gonna do? We get the rap battle. I'll sit here. I'll talk to Legend. Me and Legend drink beers and
guys. I'm being dead honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
Go back to Sunday night, people. I was joking about having a heart attack watching those games.
Dude, don't worry about it. Our stream was a disaster on Sunday. We barely talked about the game. We were doing primetime was cooking, Steve was drinking.
And the people watching were saying, no, stay with us. Jose, you gotta do a Super Bowl stream. And
do one. I think you should do one, man. Have fun with it. We don't care.
So do a first half stream, cut it off at halftime, and then do a second half stream.
Yep.
All right, I can do that. Or I can give the reins to Scrub and hope he doesn't.
There you go. There you go.
No, they don't.
You got to find a partner.
No, they don't, Vinny.
Somebody you can
It's
trust.
fine.
If you trust Scrub,
We're
let him run.
We're used to it. Now it's got to be putting out. Even Jose's betraying us. We've come full circle, primetime. We've made it.
Yep.
How have I betrayed you?
Yep, it's fine. We're used to it, man.
How have I betrayed you?
See, what we do is, you know the phrase "a knife in your back." We have like so many back there now. We just lean back into them. We're like, we're good with it. Who cares?
I don't even feel it anymore.
No, it's fine.
Hey,
just bring an axe next time. It's easier.
Hey, at least I didn't put a jack in.
No, he's trying to justify it.
At least I didn't put a jack in.
Don't justify your actions.
And it was the first, and have it be the first thing that.
Now Scrub's turning on you.
Oh no.
He sees how you betrayed us. Now he's gonna betray you.
He's talking about at halftime. And all three of you are busting my ass at the same time.
Jose, you gotta do me one
But
favor.
I
Man.
love you.
You gotta do me one favor.
What's that, Tyson?
Name your dog. You can't have your dog needs an identity, man. Can't walk around not knowing its name.
Primetime, do you have an ex you don't like? I'll name it after her.
Do I? No,
Ex you don't like, you'll name the dog after her?
I don't like any of my exes.
Be a happy name. The dog should be a happy name. Sunshine.
I was thinking, I tried that.
Know what you do, Jose? Here's an idea for you. What you do is make a video and ask for suggestions for your dog's name.
All right.
There you go.
I can imagine responses for that.
People already think I'm Michael Vick because they always hear my other two dogs barking in the background.
No, it's good. It's good to have dogs. You got to name it though.
I'm trying
Jose's out. He's out west, man. He's not around here.
Yes, I'm from California.
Is that the quarterback?
Los Angeles.
Name the dog Cassandra.
Oh,
Cassie. You're good friends. Call it Cassie.
Rhymes with Lassie. It works out.
No.
Damn.
All right. Jose, it was good talking to you, man.
You guys know.
You got to name your dog, man.
You guys know Cassandra's gonna kill you for that, right?
She hates us anyway.
Yeah, what else is no?
No,
Nothing would change.
no, she hates prime time. Oh, I like that.
Name it Jake.
But it's a
Jack,
girl.
name dog Jackie.
Jackie could work.
Jackie.
Jackie.
That could work.
All right, Jose. It was good talking to you, man. I go to bed. I'm tired as shit.
You do it.
It's
Have a
fucking
good
late.
night.
Have a good night,
Do
man.
it. Hey, guys.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us. We always get sidetracked somehow. I don't know how it always happens. So we're doing what time is the game on Sunday? The Bills?
3:30, I think.
3:30?
I think 3:30. I think 3:30.
We'll be doing Chiefs Bengals on Sunday, and that's it. Talk to you guys later.
Have a good night.